What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another live stream. How's everybody doing today after that big boom boom candle day? We have a lot to go over in this live stream. I've got a lot of energy. There was no video tonight. Couple of reasons. We could go over it. It's not really that important, but we are going to do just an extended live stream tonight. So, how is everybody feeling after today? Power hour times 2 is the opposite of fun, whatever that is. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Let's see who we got in here. Shout out the mods. I don't think any of the mods have popped in yet. They're probably lurking. Who disliked the video? I don't know. We got bots and haters all the time. Awesome day today. Picked up 515 more moon tickets. I'm pumped. There you go, Lucas. That is awesome. How much would AMC squeeze to? It'll go as high as it wants to. Nobody has any idea how high it's going to go when it squeezes. Let's do a quick Ortex update. We are also going to go over NSCC 005. Kringle put out some thoughts on this. So if you guys don't know who Kringle is, Kringle Kitten on Twitter, very, very smart guy. So we're going to go over some of the thoughts there. There are some things that some people have not necessarily realized yet, including myself, that are very important in understanding for what we have going forward. Ho, what's up, Hella Bliss? Okay, so let's refresh this a little bit. We got utilization at 92.53, still very high. I still think that it's going to continue to go up with the amount of shorting that they've done. Today was a little bit weird because we did see, according to essentially iBorrowDesk, which is Interactive Brokers, that there were 0 shares left to go out on loan. Now, if there's 0 shares left to go out on loan, the utilization should be a little bit higher. But again, they don't get their information from a lot of the market. The borrowed return today was 2.62 million returned, 808,000 borrowed. So a net return of 1.81 million AMC shares. Let's see. What's up, Fred? Curtis says, I had a bad day, had to do something I swore I wouldn't. That's why we had a good day. Interesting. Not really sure what's going on there. Short interest, 18.89%. That's the estimate from Ortex. Still incredibly high. If for whatever reason, this was the real short interest right here, 18.89%, basically 19, and all of the shorts were to have to cover, that would still result in a pretty significant squeeze because we have to keep in mind that one, institutions are cranking their positions up. We're going to go over that too. The Jim Simons and Renaissance. We talked about that last night, but that Renaissance fund, the most, if not one of the most high performing hedge funds of all time, tripled their position in AMC in Q2. Now, institutions are buying more and they're holding through those massive rips and dips, meaning that, well, they don't want to sell their position. They obviously see more upside than $77 a share. And then retail owns a significant amount of shares and they don't want to sell either. So even if on the off chance that this 19% short interest was the true short interest, it's not. It would still be a very significant squeeze. Let's see. Has Citadel released their 13F filings? I don't think so. Mo says, smash the like button. Mo, thank you. Yeah, if you guys don't mind just hitting the like button, let me send this link out to some of my friends real quick so we can get some more people in here a little bit later. Let's see. Boom. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff to go over tonight. We also have a very interesting dynamic with the big banks now. So Morgan Stanley, one of their chief equity strategists, has kept coming out and saying yeah, there's no we see the market coming down. There's also that inflation metric where inflation's been above 5% for a significant amount of time, and that doesn't happen typically unless we're going into a correction period. We have that. We have this weird Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs dynamic that I touched on in the video that I recorded but didn't post. So we will go over that as well. We have NSCC 002. We have the 10-year treasury. And we have this little gamma squeeze situation that we have going. Lucas says, I want to sell for a huge fortune. Me too. Let's see. Is it true? I saw one. Is it true that there's no more shares to borrow? Let me take a look at what do you call it? Stonko tracker is saying right now. I believe it went back up. I did not spell that right at all. All right, let's. Oh my god, I can't spell anything correctly. There we go. All right, so there's 250,000 shares available to borrow according to Stonko tracker. Now they're only getting their data from like one source. So there's more shares out there, but we kind of saw it in Ortex today that there wasn't that much borrowing of shares and there weren't that many return shares. So is it getting a little bit more difficult to get their hands on shares? Well, the cost to borrow max, as we can see right here, is up to 14%. I don't know why this cost to borrow is minimum or negative. That's weird. That's probably a little bit of an Ortex glitch. Has Citadel filed their 13F yet? I don't think so. I will look. There's another thing also that Citadel has a very high potential to get really margin called on September 1st. So we're gonna go over that too. So make sure you guys stick around for all of this. We have a lot of. It's like almost too much information to me to pack into a video. Citadel's last yearly report showed a decent amount of derivative exposure. It was like $33 billion. A lot of it is options. But the thing is we don't know what kind of options those are. If they're OTC derivatives, that is kind of what the DTCC is going after. Not going after, but like starting to margin call or with the NSCC on September 1st. So this whole liquidity bleed is starting, and we've been speculating about this for so long. And we're like, over the last month, I think you guys have realized this, that we've started to really see confirmation of all of the stuff that we've been talking about. That Marshallian K rating about the liquidity basically going negative. Basically saying that everybody, there's no liquidity left in the market. Ernie Rivera, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Really, really appreciate it. I told TMI we hit 45 to 47 this week. Y'all can call me daddy when it does. Ernie, if we do, I will. Let's see. Totally not the FBI. What's up? Today was awesome. Oh, it was filed today. Let's see. Fintel. Ooh. I don't have Fintel on. I don't have the login on this computer. Hold on. Let me see if I can mess around and guess my password on Fintel. Hold on. All right. We're going to have to figure that out. I think we can find it on Whale Wisdom too. We can figure that out too. But we'll look at their... It won't show their like total derivative exposure because there's a lot of theories floating around right now that they're like they're like putting them in offshore accounts so it doesn't look like they're completely over leveraged, but that 33 billion is most likely still there from 2020. Let's see, what do we want to hit first? I think we got a decent enough people in here to start with the let's do, what do you guys want to do first? Do you want to do gamma squeeze, big banks, margin? Oh my God, my dog just started freaking out. Big banks, margin calls. What was the other one? My dog is Vegas. There you go. Let's see. What a Fuel the Rockets. There we go. Yeah. Good day for AMC. It actually, let's see. All right. Let's do, I think I'll make the decision for everybody. Let's do gamma squeeze first. Okay. We need Stonko tracker back up first. So let's take a look real quick here. We have 79,000 calls. Let's refresh this to make sure it's completely accurate. 79,000, basically 80,000 call contracts in the money right now. 274,000 out of the money. Now, a lot of those contracts are going to be highly concentrated at the really, really, really high strikes. So we'd have to really rip to see a big gamma squeeze. But what we're seeing right now is a little baby gamma. Now, these puts, there were more puts that were in the money than calls that were in the money yesterday when it reflected as of the weekend. So we saw that there was more potential for a gamma squeeze to the downside due to that hedging versus to the upside. But we saw it kind of flip today. So we saw those short-term short positions get covered. We saw those calls get hedged for on the upside. So double buying volume. So when we come over and look at the actual option chain for AMC, let's see. So we had the 33s, fours, and fives, I think. Yeah, threes, fours, and fives go in the money. So that's a solid amount of contracts right there. Then we have 37 is decent, then 40. So for the gamma squeeze, what we're thinking is one, this isn't going to be like June. It's not going to be like this crazy gamma squeeze. It's going to be like a little bit of buying volume here and there. That's just going to help push us up. So as we continue to go up, this delta right here is also going to go up, meaning that they have to hedge more of these. So right now they only have to take care of, I don't know why. Yeah, this one right here is about 63% of this 1.4 million shares. So like 900,000 shares. And then this one's 57% of these about 21 million shares. So that's a decent amount of shares that need to get bought. You are the only person that has ever replied to me. You are the best. Joel, anytime, man. So that's kind of what we're looking at this week. 37 is another good level. 38 is another good level. And then 40. 40 is a big one. We cross above 40, we're going to see some boom booms. It's also a good technical and like psychological level as well to get back above 40. Wow, you were early today, Sean. I know we didn't release a video today, so I just decided that we would do an extent, little bit of an hour extra on the live, so we could get this going a little bit more. Let's see. I got two $55 calls for January 2022. I'm feeling good about them. Lucas, good luck with that. Don't say the D word. Mr. Levitz, I've said it a couple of times and everything's been fine. I'm talking about like hedging options. And if they're going to ding me for like trying to educate about how the hedging process works, like they can screw off. Like, come on. I can't say that one word. Come on. I can't, like, I'm not going to be able to explain how like, okay, I won't say it, but the hedging process works when you sell these options. It's stupid. How are there still shares left? Says Eric. Remember, so there's that cycle of shares getting loaned out in return. So it's always like shares get loaned out, shares come back in, they get loaned out. So there's always going to be some amount of shares that can go out on loan. That's why I don't think we're ever going to see the utilization or the short interest go completely to zero. There's always going to be some short interest on any given stock, especially after we rip. Like there are going to be so many institutions that if we get to 1, 5, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, they're just going to be new short positions that come in because there's going to be shorts covering. And then there's going to be more shares that can go out on loan. And there's going to be more institutions that are like, oh, yeah, this squeeze. And now we can make money on the way down. Let's see. Did Citadel's 13F? Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to see if I can guess my Fintel password because I don't remember what it is. Please be the one. No. All right. One more time, and I think I got it. Come on. Nope. All right. I don't know my Fintel password. That hurts. Good point. Hit the like button, Ape Fam. Oh, that would be great. Let's see. Did Citadel report that? Guys, it's not really going to matter what Citadel holds. See, yeah, it's important. Like you're just going to see like Facebook, Tesla, Google, all of those. You're going to see their call and put positions on AMC. But you're not going to see any short positions. You just won't. They don't have to report their short positions on a 13F. And I will pull that up for you guys right now. Let's see. Here we go. So for 13F reporting, this is right from the SEC. Question 41. What about short positions? You should not include short positions on Form 13F. You also should not subtract your short positions in securities from your long positions in that same security. Only report the long position. Same thing with options. You don't see the sold options that they sell, and you don't see short positions. So we do have FINRA. Where is it? 2119 that is trying to help out with this. So right now we know that on the 13F filings, we don't see any like short interest reporting, zero. But what they're trying to do with this one, like right here, synthetic short positions. In addition, FINRA is considering requiring firms to reflect synthetic short positions in short interest reports. Now, this could also bleed over into 13Fs, which would be good. You could see which companies are shorting. For example, enhanced short interest reporting could include synthetic short positions achieved through the sale of a call and a purchase of a put, where the options have the same strike price and expiration month, or through other strategies. FINRA believes this information would assist FINRA in understanding the scope of market participants' short sale activity, specifically regarding the use of less traditional means of establishing short interest. There's been a lot of non-traditional means of establishing short interest in AMC. Did I try password? No, I don't know why I don't know it. YouTube always trying to silence people that are educating people. Trey, very possible. Oh, what's up, antics? Yeah, I tried all my passwords. I don't have it. Maybe it's some like weird password that I don't remember putting in there. I could like go on my like laptop and just figure it out, but it's not gonna help us. Like we can look at it and people will be like, oh, like it's just they're not gonna report anything. We know that they don't have to report stuff, so like don't get too hyped up about that. What else do next one right here. Also, if you guys have any questions, just drop them in there. I'll do my best to answer anything. How's everybody feeling though? This was awesome. Little bounce up. I think when we're looking at the chart, when we come back over here, like we've seen these sell-offs and bounces. The last big one was up to 46. The last smaller one was up to 38. If we can break this 38, where is it? 38.20, I think it is. 38.22. If we can break above there, then we could potentially see some more upside, which would be awesome. It was such a missed opportunity to not have Jackie Chan or Jet Li have a remake of Kung. Wow, I think you guys are having your own conversation. I wonder if Foxwoods will roll out a red carpet for my epic return. Mr. Fishing, I don't know, but if you're going to go, let me know. I think I'm going in like 2 or 3 weeks. Let's see. All right. Is AMC short interest at 21? It shouldn't be, unless Ehor is reporting that as 21. Let me look. He could be. S3 could be reporting AMC short interest at 21. Let me look. I know he came out with something on AMC today. Let's see. Clove. Lucid. Come on now. Why are there so many? Come on, dude. I understand that you have a short interest reporting business, but I want to see AMC. 3 hours ago. Smile Direct. Metamaterials. Wish. Tesla. SoFi. Palantir. Oh my God. GameStop was on there. AMC. Yeah. Okay. So S3 Partners is reporting AMC's short interest as 21.17% of the free float or of the float. That's what we're seeing there. Do you think today's run could be a bear trap? No, I honestly don't think so, because we have all of those options. And after what we've seen over the last couple of weeks with all of the good news that AMC has put out, like it only makes sense that we've had this significant sell-off, and we're seeing now the 13F filings really come out from all of these large institutions, that people are going to see that and be like, oh, let's buy in. And this goes along with exactly what I was saying with, what do you call it, yesterday with the media, and how they need to have somebody from BlackRock, Renaissance, or Vanguard on their show, because that's the only way for them to really solidify their short thesis. Like if you think you're right in a position, especially a short, like why wouldn't you be like, oh yeah, let's have these institutions on that took massive long positions and just tear their thesis apart? They're not going to do that because their short thesis is BS. Let's see. Big institutions buying up shares. So nice. Mike V, 100%. Yeah, SOM dork. I'm gonna just look at their filing. It's just easier that way. Let's see. Wait, I think I can just do it. Oh, yeah. I can just look at it on Fintel. That's easy. I don't have to log in to like look at their 13F. I would just have to log into. All right, let's go through Citadel's 13F real quick because I think a lot of people want to see that. Here we go. Here is Citadel's big bad 13F. Ken Griffin, Citadel Advisors LLC, market value 446 billion. That's a lot of money. Who is Gary Gensler? All right, here we go. S&P put. I mean, makes sense. Tesla call, Tesla put, S&P call, Amazon call. Let's look at oh, it's actually giving me like I didn't even have to log in. This is great. Okay, so this is normal stuff. I'm pretty sure you guys just want to see AMC, so let's just look and see what they have for AMC. They have a put on AMC and looks like they've increased the amount right here, which is fine. The puts are essentially just for hedging. They have a call. Looks like they may have increased that as well. And then I'm guessing they have, hold on. Then they have shares. This is their share position, 724,000. Let me go back up to the top. Just see, this is going to piss me off. Come on. Come on. See, this is the problem. They like this doesn't come. Okay, so this is previous shares, current change percentage of the actual amount of shares. Okay. Let's see what they've done. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth column is going to be the change in the percent of shares, I'm guessing. Ooh. Interesting. Sold off some AMC shares, made some money on those, I bet, Citadel. And they also have AMCX, which good for them. Yeah, and then that's just okay. So why is this so annoying today? All right. Well, we'll keep going through this. This is going to be like a really, really long 13F because look at how many positions they have. A boatload. Ernie, thank you so much for the super. I feel every small firm and institutions want to own Citadel and Virtue are the squeeze. Ernie, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Page up, page down, guys. You know me. I'm like the worst technological person of all time. Yeah, guys, Citadel's 13F really isn't going to tell us a whole lot. I mean, they have the puts and calls on AMC. I think I can just search right here. What if I just did this? This would be a lot easier, I think. Upgrade to unlock premium data. Well, I have. All right, so there's Citadel's 13F. They decreased their position size in AMC, but they still have the puts and calls. Here's what we need to think about when we're thinking about when an institution has shares, puts, and calls. The basic definition of a put, and you got to think of it in your mind, it gives you the right to sell at a certain price. So it's just insurance. That's all it is. So when you see that an institution has a lot of puts, you also have to look and see if they have a lot of shares. You don't know what the strike is, and you also don't know if they've sold any other options. So what those 13Fs really tell us is just what their long positions are. Now, this kind of goes along with everything that we've been saying. We're going to go over how Citadel could be facing a huge margin call a little bit later in the stream. But yeah. Antics. Funny. All right, let's go over the first part of this margin call situation. It has to do with NSCC 005, which got basically fast-tracked for approval, which is very interesting. Let's go through what Kringle has to say about this because there's a lot of things in here that people they don't get. Okay, part one, NSCC 005. Every NSCC participant must provide a collateral minimum required fund deposit, i.e., margin, which will be increased from $10,000 to $250,000. We know this. We know that that's coming. But some of the biggest members have dozens of registered accounts with the NSCC. So let's suppose that somebody like Goldman would have 30 accounts with the NSCC. They would have to provide $7.5 million worth of collateral. As per the Clearing Rule 4 and Procedure 15, that collateral is only dealt with cash. So they need the cash to do it. According to a backtesting coverage realized through a corporate study from June 3rd, 2019 to May 29th, 2020, 29 members experienced repeated deficiencies, causing them to fall below the 99% confidence target on margin level. So this is one of the stress tests that they've run. Out of 150 members under this study, 46 members would be impacted by the proposed $250,000 minimum required fund deposit, with 28 members would have to be required to deposit more collateral if this new increase had been implemented. So basically, we could see these smaller funds start to really take a hit. And that's what Alpine was really complaining about, because they're all doing business together. They don't want anybody else to get hit if they have to put up so much margin. Now, the other thing that goes along with this, let me pull it back up. Let's see. I think it's this one. This isn't the only thing that the DTCC is planning on doing. They have a September 1st upsurge in margin calls, and they also are thinking about raising this 250,000 that we're seeing right here to 10 million, which we will take a look at too. So the first thing is right here. We've gone over this. There will be an upsurge in the volume of margin calls and an increase in the need for third-party custodians to keep safe collateral. There was another article about this that kind of referenced a lot of overseas, mainly like Asian third parties, which is kind of interesting, especially with what's going on in Asia right now, especially the Chinese markets. But this has to do with OTC derivatives. So Citadel right now, or as per their yearly filing from last year, had about $33 billion of derivative exposure. Okay, 33 billion, it's not crazy. JP Morgan, Citi, Goldman, and Bank of America hold 168 trillion in derivative exposure. So a lot more. But at the same time, when you're trading those derivatives, they're most likely leveraged positions. But when Citadel lists their derivative exposure, we don't know what percentage of that is going to be those OTC derivatives. When we look at their 13F, they have a boatload of options positions. But again, $33 billion, and you compare that to a lot of their 13Fs, it most likely won't add up. You'll be like, oh, there's like 100 billion. There's like a crazy amount of derivatives in this that shouldn't be there. Ernie, thank you so much for the super chats, man. Didn't Citadel open multiple dozens of shell companies recently? So each owe 250K. So shorting firms are trapped. Ernie, maybe if they would be members of the National Securities Clearing Corporation. So that's what we would have to look at. If those like accounts would be registered with the NSCC, then yeah, they would have to cough up a lot of money in order to basically be a member and continue using the DTCCs and the NSCC services. Let's see. Does that fund that's adding AMC have to buy shares on August 31st, or can they buy before? And they have to buy 5% of shares. Yes. Okay. So Clap 64. That is a very important question. A lot of people have been circulating around that they have to buy 5%. It's very possible with the size of MSCI, but at the same time, I have not been able to confirm that it actually is 5%. The only thing that I have seen that says that they have to buy 5% of the share, like basically 5% of the company, is some person on Reddit saying they do. When liquidations? Henry, they've already been happening, my man. Citadel also took like $150 billion loss, which was insane. Market makers and hedge funds in bed with each other, as always. 10K to 250K increase is peanuts for hedge funds. Most deal with multi-million AUM. TRX HODL, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, what if they have 50 accounts? 100 accounts? There's 3,000 members with the NSCC. If they all have a bunch of different accounts, then they're going to be coughing up a lot of money. And let me pull up the Alpine thing that shows that they could in Q4 of 2021, they could be jacking up that 250K all the way up to 10 million. So let me look for that too. I got to pull that up. Where did yeah, let me just do this. Cuz I know I have it over here. All right. All right, we're gonna pull that up. This was one of the institutions that was complaining about NSCC 005. Let's see, right here. Oh, I also have it in my Google Docs. That might be easier to just look at. That yeah, that'll definitely be easier to look at because I have it highlighted in my Google Docs. Let's see, it should be this one. They're all untitled. Yep, this is it right here. Let's see. Yeah, they're complaining about getting margin called. Screw them. Who cares? Right here. Okay. So a particular concern to Alpine, however, is that the NSCC is pursuing to increase as a baby step pursuing this increase as a baby step towards an even greater increase down the road. So we have NSCC 005 and we have a huge increase potentially coming in Q4. This is not an idle concern. On two separate occasions this year, representatives from the DTCC have informed Alpine that the NSCC plans to seek an increase in the minimum capital requirement to $10 million for corresponding clearing firms such as Alpine, and that NSCC expects that change will be implemented in the fourth quarter of this year. What else is happening towards the fourth quarter of this year? They're expecting an upsurge in the margin calls for OTC derivatives. So if you guys can see this pattern right now of the liquidity just being drained out of a lot of these different institutions. And what that means is that it's going to be a lot harder for them to maintain these margin requirements if they can't put up enough collateral when they're receiving these margin calls basically every day now with 002. Then they're going to have to close the positions. That could potentially be one of the catalysts that we see that sets AMC and GameStop off. Let's see. Yeah, plus short. Yeah. Stonko Tracker isn't accurate, only uses one data source. Yeah, we went over that. Eating away at liquidity. Yep. Ernie's been buying since January 8th. There you go, Ernie. So today I heard a few people saying that there were no more shares available to short the stock, but when I checked on Stonko Tracker, it showed 250,000. Am I understanding this wrong? Thank you, STV. Patrick, that's a really good question. At one point, Stonko Tracker was showing no shares were left to borrow. But remember, they're only getting their info from one broker, so they wouldn't be able to really give us a full picture. But here's the other thing. Ortex gives us the data from about 85% of the market. And they only had 2.62 million return shares and 800,000 shares go out on loan. So the fact that we saw basically 0 shares left to borrow from basically, what's it called? It's iBorrowdesk and Who Interactive Brokers. That's the one that they wouldn't be able to get those shares. Also, if you guys don't mind, just dropping a like on the video. It just helps us out with the algorithm so we can get ahead of those CNBC fudders that are trying to spread misinformation all the time. So if you guys don't mind, just drop a like on the video. It helps me out a lot. Let's see. If you could figure the amount of shorts that different hedge funds are running on different companies, the 25x will be biblical. The crash is coming. Ooh, it could be. The other thing is that if we do end up seeing any kind of market sell-off, I think we've made it pretty clear in a lot of my videos that everybody's significantly over leveraged. We have the Fed making comments that the hedge funds leverage levels right now are well above their historical leverage levels. We have the margin debt of it was approaching 900 billion, but then it came back down, which suggests deleveraging. And then we have Goldman Sachs selling out. So any one of these different catalysts that comes that sends the market down could really, really hurt. What I'm looking at right here is for let's pull up the S&P real quick. I know some of you guys don't like when we do that. It's gonna be real quick. Um, Brandon Sizemore, thank you so much for the super. I really, really appreciate it. Will Afghanistan's problem affect our market? It's possible. That could be one of the other catalysts that sends us going to the downside. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Buddy, thank you so much for the super, guys. Have you seen Justice Squid's channel? Would love to hear your opinion on his DD. Thanks for all you do, STV. No, I have not. So when you guys think about like us as content creators, what I usually do, I don't typically watch other people's videos. What I will do though is that if I'm like researching something and I just want background noise, I'll put on like TMI stream. Like you guys will see me in his chat like all the time. Or if it's towards the end of the day, I'll just turn on match stream and just listen to see if there's anything crazy going on. Or if I just want some like entertainment while I'm like messing around doing research. But videos I don't really watch unless you guys like send them to me a lot. Like if you guys like spam the video, I'll watch it. SCV got some serious wrinkles on his ape brain. So glad he is here to drop the knowledge for us. JS, thank you, man. Where's the 150 billion Citadel loss? Batshit. I've actually seen it. Oh, let me find it. It has to do with their AUM, but you don't necessarily know if it's actually a loss or if they just sold off and converted to cash. Let me see if I can find it. Citadel lose billions. Let me search for it. Yeah, I have it. I made a video about it. I don't remember exactly where it was, but we'll take a look at that. Batshit, great to see you in here, man. I know you pop in every once in a while. Thoughts on Bam? I think he's got a good model. Everybody kind of knows what he's here for. That's his job to sell a thing. His model's been pretty accurate so far, so I don't have anything against him. Let's see. Where were we at right now? What were we talking about? All of these margin rules are going to get crazy. DTCC doesn't want to pay. They're not going to be the ones paying. They collect. So non-AMC question. So I saw a picture of you in the Ape Squad. How tall are you? I'm 6'2". We also have this right here, the 10-year treasury. So if you guys have noticed that Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs have also come out and given now new price target upgrades for the S&P 500. So that kind of really affects us in that, oh, they think the market's going to keep going up. But I think it's BS because, one, we know that Goldman Sachs sold out 25% of their equity position. And we're seeing the 10-year treasury. Let's look at it from a month, 3-month down. What this tells us is that there's a lot of money that is flowing from equities, risky investments, into bonds, safety. So there's this like safety trade going on right now. We also saw like the 10-year treasury auction the other week be like one of the highest on record, which also shows that they're flowing to safety. Let's see. All right. What else do we have to do? Oh yeah, I'm gonna look for that. Actually, I'll pull that up right now. I'm gonna see if I can find this Citadel situation because I think that's important. Where is that? Yeah, because they did take it was either a loss or it was just them converting to cash, and we may not have known. SOM Dork is 6'9". That's huge. What happens if they go bankrupt? Well, there's a lot of backstops in place for if these institutions end up going bankrupt. There's their insurance. The other members of the DTCC and the NSCC would pay. There's the government. There's the DTCC's like endowment that they have, that $63 trillion. Let's see. Also, let's go over these giant institutional buys for AMC. This is really, really, really important. And I'll go on a nice rant. So let's see. Oh, is this going to give me an ad blocker thing? Please don't. I hate when that happens. I have to click a bunch of buttons and it gets really annoying. All right, here we go. Jim Simon's Rentech, which is Renaissance Technologies Fund, tripled its AMC stake last quarter and slashed its Tesla holdings by 75%. That's interesting. Everybody's been bullish on Tesla forever, and now we are seeing them move into AMC. This is one of the things that I've really went off on the stream last night, and I'm going to keep doing it. One, the media and all of these different institutions, the mainstream media says that the apes are dumb money and they're putting their money behind something that is going to fail. One, if they were so against retail investors making money and they thought that AMC was a bad investment, you know what they would do? Not say anything. They would just let retail lose money. The fact that they are so outspoken against this trade kind of suggests that we're probably really on the right track. The second, if they're calling us dumb money for investing into AMC, you are also calling Jim Simons, what happened here? From Renaissance Technologies, stupid. Do you know how backwards that is? Let's pull up his track record. It's crazy. Like, where is it? Right here. This is who tripled their position in AMC. Renaissance Flagship Medallion Fund, which is run mostly for fund employees. Oops. Is famed for the best track record on Wall Street, returning more than 66% annualized before fees and 39% after fees over a 30-year span from 1988 to 2018. So 39% after fees for years. That's insane returns in their medallion fund. And it's all algorithms. These guys are all like PhD mathematicians that created an algorithm, and it's been one of the most successful algorithms that has ever existed. Are they buying to lend out shares, though? It doesn't matter. Oh, we can go over that too if they're lending out shares. In my opinion, it's a non-issue because of both. There's two sides to the same situation. So we have this fund who has bought AMC in the past and has now tripled their position in Q2. The important thing about this is that what happened in Q2 with AMC? Look, right here. Q2 started right here. Hold on. Q2 started right here. AMC was trading at $10 a share. So their purchases were anywhere between when AMC was trading at $9 to $10, all the way up to 77, and back down to where? Right here, $54 a share. So that's the range of shares that the range of prices that they were buying in, from 9 to 77. And guess what? If there's a net increase in your position, you held the stock for an 800% gain and didn't sell. That is not what these institutions typically do. Imagine if you're managing outside money and you have an 800% gain on a position, your clients are making money hand over fist. What are you most likely going to do? You're going to sell and take profits. That's not what we've seen, which is really interesting. They've held the effective date of all of these filings is the end of June. They've held through the June run-up. They've bought through the June run-up. So if the stock goes from 10 to 77 and they held, they obviously see more upside above 77. Jim Simons is greater than Ken Griffin. Josh, 100% agree. But Mr. Greenfield says AMC is worth 1 cent. Jim must be wrong. Yeah. Yep. Can market makers cover FTDs to jack up the price to get retail investors out of the play? Trey, thank you so much for the super. Thank you to all you guys who send those in. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to continue doing what we do. So thank you guys so much. But to answer the question, for the market makers and brokerages that are covering the FTDs to jack up the price to get retail investors out, most retail investors and even institutions at this point in this play are waiting for these huge gains. And I think every day that goes on, there are more people learning more information about this short squeeze situation that are saying, well, I might be up 100, 200%, or even more if you were playing options on this stock now. but I think there's a lot more upside in it. So even if the price fluctuate, like if the price could go to 50, it could go to 20, it could go to 500, it could go to 5. These are just examples, by the way. But if it still shows that the short interest is really high and they're still manipulating the stock, then people are still going to see upside in this trade because it's a short squeeze play. Yeah, the fundamentals are increasing, but the whole reason why a lot of people are in this is for the big squeeze. And then let's get into this institutional loaning out of shares. Here's the thing. We got to pull up Ortex for this one. So right now, the average cost to borrow, meaning that the interest rate that these institutions would be receiving if they were loaning out their shares, is 2.11% at the current time that we are recording. Now, this is 85% of the market data. So that's it's probably a little higher, a little lower, but let's say it's 2.11%. Okay, that's a yearly rate. So you're going to make 2.11% a year, and then you're going to allow somebody else to use your boatload amount of shares in order to bet against you and push the price down, most likely more than 2.11%. That's not very logical. But back in I think it was the end of May and early June, the cost of borrows were really high, 10, 12, 15, 20. iBorrowDesk was showing 90% or even higher for that cost to borrow. So when we see that, it doesn't make logical sense for them to be loaning out their shares. Okay, cool. It doesn't make logical sense. But let's speculate a little bit, even if they are loaning out their shares. The damage has already been done to the price. If they've already loaned out their shares, remember these 13F filings are backdated. All these purchases could have been made from April through June. So if they've loaned out their shares in that time and they've shorted the stock, the damage to the share price has already been done. They've already shorted it, they pushed it down, done. But here's what they can do now. All of those institutions can call back those shares, do a forced share recall anytime they want, and they don't have to provide a reason. Okay. So it's honestly bullish if they loaned out their shares because there could be so many of those outstanding short positions, but they're not like people don't get that they can just call them back and force them to cover their position. Now, it might not be like time for that. That's the other thing. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They could be waiting for like the all of these new regulations to come into effect that once this short squeeze plays out and if for like if we actually know that there's 1 billion 5 billion, there's that crazy amount of shares out there that the market would end up being okay. So once they get like the green light from like the backdoor shady people, they'll just call it back, let the squeeze happen, scorched earth, it'll be all right. So we don't know what's really behind the scenes. Yeah, shout out the mods. You guys are awesome. The mods put in a lot of work for the channel, so make sure you guys show the mods some love. They are, I think, doing another mod space call tonight, so definitely check that out if you guys are interested. They needed to go to 0 for tax purposes. They pay no tax. Yeah, they're never going to be able to get it to 0. It's just not going to happen. Like, how would you be able to get this stock to 0 with the amount of shorts that are already out there and the amount of retail investors continuously wanting to buy the stock? There would have to be a massive dry up in buying volume. And again, I still think that the institutions are still buying shares because remember, they were buying between 10 and 77. Now the stock's at 35.57 in the after hours, down 12 cents. Well, this is still a discount for what they think the stock can go to in the future. Tyler, thank you so much for the super. Would Renaissance have better insight into which firms are short and how much, and if the 1.5 billion extra share theory exists, or are they as blind as us? Tyler, most likely, they have more information than we do. I would just go out on a limb and say that they probably have a better understanding of what's going on than we do, but we've also done so much research that I bet they've looked at and they're like, oh, yeah, they're correct on this. They're wrong on this, but they're still on the right track. And that's why they put money behind this play because they know that there is a lot of potential in owning AMC with the market that we're going into. How low could it go? 29 seems to be the floor they can't get it past. A lot of people were talking about that $25 range, and I still do think it's possible, and I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world. One, we would get to buy more shares at a lower price. Two, the utilization and the short interest would spike. Utilization going up is a really good thing for a price, like a really aggressive price movement up, because there's way less shares out there. The cost to borrow really goes up, and the potential for a forced share recall skyrockets. Like we've gone over that in the past with that 75% utilization number. Now, we don't know if the utilization for AMC is actually 92.53. It could be right around 75. It could be almost at 100 right now, because we don't know the actual the actual short interest. We don't know. um Transparency project, thank you so much for the super, man. I hope your computer, um like, you can fix your computer, man. That looked rough. No real message here, but yeah, mod squad in 40. Oh, there you go. That'll be fun. I'll try to pop on after the stream. Smash the like button if you're ready for the moon pushing. Oh, I'm ready. So, in your opinion, with the shares that are loaned out by institutions, that they did loan them knowing that the majority would be taken and shorted so they could do a forced share recall to catch them? Patrick, I would say if the institutions are loaning out their shares, um, and with the evidence that we've seen so far that a lot of these institutions are still buying, then yeah, that seems like a really good, like, it's still speculation, but it's a good working theory of what they're trying to do. Trey, thank you so much for the super. Thank you, Vix. I'm in it to win it. I'm buying more and holding as long as it takes. Me too, man. Check Fintel. Citadel added puts and calls at 33.45. Eden, it doesn't really matter for me. Puts, if they have puts and calls, they're just like they're just like, okay. One, if they have a bunch of shares, which it looks like they do, they're hedging with the puts and they're adding to their upside potential with the calls. So they're hedging their downside risk. Let's see. CNBC Pro says a correction could start after options expire on August 20th. FX Hedge. Ooh, brother. Oh, let's look at that. I like FX Hedge. Let's look. Yeah. Is it a witching day? Is this weekend a witching? Does anybody know? Let's see. Ooh, uh-oh, everybody. Here we go. It's getting interesting. CNBC Pro says a correction could start after options expire August 20th. Now, the reason that that may happen is that is so wrong. Jay, I'm not sure if you're telling me I'm wrong, but if we're talking about a correction happening, I honestly don't think it's going to happen or start in Q3. I think you could ask TMI about this. Whenever I talk about like the liquidations in a major market event, I think Q4, if it's going to happen, it'll be Q4. The reason for that is there's a lot of things coming together in Q4. One, we could see the squeeze happen in Q4. We also, here's the other thing so I'm really excited about the next couple of weeks and months. Here's one of the reasons. One, this week for AMC, we have a lot of options expiring. We have around 80,000 contracts in the money on the call side right now, which is very bullish for buying volume. Gavin, thank you so much for the super. I really, really appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. So we have this monthly August expiration, but the next one, September, 34,000 already at the 40. We have 13,000 at the 30. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here that a lot of these contracts are gonna populate even more. We see a bunch at 50. We see a lot at 60. But when we come down really far, we see 57,000 already at 145. So if we could rip the next rip up. If it's not the squeeze, I would really say that we would cross that $150 mark. Just going off of like what happened last time with the gamma squeeze, I think we would cross that 150. Nobody really knows though. Let's see what happens. We kind of are in this consolidation right now. We broke down. We're kind of just bouncing around in this mid $30 range. And if we can break above 38 is kind of a key level to me, because we've seen this bounce all the way up to 46. The last bounce was 38. Now, if we can break above 38 and make our way back up to 40, I think we could see some more bullish momentum. What's up with the days to cover? You really think they can cover 18% in point 0.6 days? Adam Jones. With that's a reflection of the volume. So it's possible, but nobody really knows. It's more of like a estimation. Surely there's been 0 shares available for months now. Andrew, that's not necessarily true. There have been a decent amount of shares because they can kind of circulate them around. Like there are shorts that are covering and returning their shares, and there are more shorts taking out new short positions. So it's this flow of shares going in and out. Um, Gavin, thank you so much for another super. What are your predictions on the potential growth of AMC within a 6 to 12 month period? I think it's very possible that we squeeze within 6 to 12 months, but again, nobody really knows when we could potentially squeeze. Nobody like it's very hard to tell. Like that's the one thing. It's like no dates, no price targets. How were the second half FTDs? They were really low, I believe, like very low. Where is it? Right here. FTDs. Yeah. So July 26th, there were 19,000. The highest day was 578,000. So nothing crazy, but we do see those T plus 35 days coming into effect now. There's like that string of days. But at the same time, we've seen the T plus 35s on that day. We've seen bullish momentum and we've seen bearish momentum. So it's either they buy shares to close out those failure to delivers or they don't. So I wouldn't hinge your expectations on those failure to delivers. What the failure to delivers really show us is that there's something wrong. Like the fact that we got on the threshold list, it shows that something's very wrong. Because not every FTD is a naked short or a synthetic short, but every single naked or synthetic short results in a failure to deliver just by how a naked short would work. It's like the prime broker lending out shares that they do not have. So they're failing to deliver those shares within that T plus 3, I believe, period. It's either T plus 3 or T plus 6, where they would have to close out those shares. Let's see. Buying more of those fake shares, says Carlos. There you go. Possibly end up being similar to Tesla, slow burner on the way up to the top. Andrew, very possible. We could see these periods of a rip up, come down, make a higher low. We consolidate for a while, and then we have another one of those rips. That is very possible. And that's why I try to always preach patience, because I know that a lot of people really want the money now, but the market, I hate to say it, doesn't care. The market's going to do what the market's going to do. If it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen tomorrow. If it's going to happen 6 months from now, that's when it's going to happen. So it's really just a waiting game and positioning yourself in the best place possible in order to best capitalize on this opportunity. Oh, pushing. Hope you have a nice night, man. Let's see. Great answer. Throughout gossip, I was told it could reach 1K or higher in the future, but who knows? It will definitely change lives if people stick out. Yeah. Ben Levine. Oh, what's up, Ben? 275,000 out of the money calls and 300,000 out of the money puts, and they're climbing for this week. Yeah, well, Ben, the in the money calls are going up. We went over that a little bit earlier. Because going into this week, we saw the in the money puts outweigh the in the money calls, which if they needed to hedge, they would hedge more on the stock down. That's what would happen. There would have been more selling volume, but now it's flipped. So there's going to be more buying volume from the unhedging of those puts and the hedging of those calls. Riptide, thank you so much for the super. I really appreciate all of those guys. Thank you so much. STV, thank you so much for all you and your pals do. With Ortex showing 0.6 days to cover at current volume, how does one predict the days to cover during a squeeze volume? So the days to cover, I believe, is a reflection of short interest and the volume over the last couple of trading days. So if the volume ends up going up, it could potentially be easier for them to get out of their shorts. So when the lower the volume, the higher the days to cover. Fuzzy, thank you so much for the super. If you want to learn patience, I suggest doing what I did. Buy a 3D printer. That will teach you all the patience you need. Well, trust me, I'm an expert. Yeah, my buddy at school had a 3D printer, and that thing took forever. They printed some wild stuff. Let's see. It helps me to think of AMC positions as seeds that I have planted rather than a fuse that I lit. That and coloring all candles green so it doesn't matter. I've seen people do that. They can change on their chart to make every single candle green. Also, the other thing that if you're really stressed out about the money that you put into AMC, you can look at the charts, but you may not want to look at the dollar amount that's fluctuating. Like I think a lot of people at this point that have gotten in early are really used to seeing the number that's in their brokerage account between this $30 and $40 range. And they don't necessarily remember what it felt like and are used to what it felt like when the stock was trading at $10. They're used to that $10 rip all the way to 70. And now that we're at 35, it feels weird. It's like, well, we're still up a very significant amount if you were one of the ones that got in early. If you're a new ape, I understand the unrealized loss and it hurts. I get it. But what we're seeing is those institutions are piling in. We're seeing the short interest continually go up, especially the exchange reported short interest. It's near the highs. So we're winning. We're seeing all this FUD get spread around. It's like everything is really working in our favor. Seth Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super. Thoughts on the Afghanistan affecting the markets? Very sad. Yeah, it could affect the markets negatively, but at the same time, it also could do nothing. So we got to keep that in mind. But that is one of the potential catalysts that could send us going lower. And what I was going to bring up earlier is the 50-day and the 200-day moving average for the S&P 500. If we see a break below the 50-day moving average for the market, and it can't get back above it, then I would say that there's a very high probability that we go to that 200. And that's about a 12-ish% drop from where we are right now with everybody over leveraged. That's going to be margin call, liquidate. It's just going to really spiral out of control. Don't invest what you can't afford to lose 100%. I watched the share price for 6 months straight until recently. I feel better mentally now not looking at it all the time. Sam Waters, I get that, man. S&P 500 is looking healthy still. Oh, I disagree. It's just ripping for no apparent reason. Yeah, I probably have a different outlook on where the market is headed than a lot of people. And here's the other thing: institutions have come out very bearish on what the market could do in Q4. That's really what I'm looking at. And there was an article that I read today that I was going to incorporate in the video that I recorded, but just didn't post. That basically said that retail inflows in the market are like near the high. Now, that could be one of the ways that you can view a market correction is coming because it's like an overwhelming amount of speculation and there's the fear of underperforming. So next earnings season comes around, the stocks are way higher, but then we see the earnings meet expectations and the stocks tank. Well, it may not be that the stocks are not like the companies aren't performing. It's just their share price doesn't match what they're supposed to be. And I get it. The current valuation metrics that we've seen don't necessarily apply anymore. But did anyone see Citadel's 13F filing came through? Yeah, we went over it briefly. But again, you're not going to really see anything in Citadel's 13F. You're going to see like them adding and dropping positions. They have so much money in so many different things that it's going to be very hard for them to it's just one, you're not going to see short positions. You're not going to see like sold options. Like if they just like took a short position on an options contract, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see the strike. You're not going to see the expiration. It's like, okay, you can look at it and you can be like, oh shit, they reported their 13F, but I don't believe personally that it's really going to test a lot unless they had like a really, really long string of sells when they're liquidating and going to cash, which in one of my videos, we went over that could have happened, but yeah. Also, if you guys don't mind, just dropping a like on the video, it just helps us out. Let's see. It's sad. We didn't see. How is a 30,000 and a half call at 40 bearish? Did you see? It shouldn't be. If they're, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, Stoic. Let me see. What date is that? This is September, August. Yeah, the open interest on this 40 right now is only 26,000. So I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Okay, so the 13F doesn't matter much. I mean, to me, it doesn't. Like, it's not going to change the fact that the shorts have not covered. And the thing is that nobody knows if Citadel is actually the big bad guy shorting AMC. They easily could be with Citadel advisors, easily, but we're never going to know because they don't have to report their short positions. So yeah, their market making activities are definitely not great. They shouldn't have that much control over the entire market, but they may not be the big bad guy that everybody thinks they are. It could be Virtue, it could be Susquehanna, it could be any one of these other large institutions coming together in a group that are shorting, and that's how the situation got so out of hand. Let's see. Fuzzy, thank you so much for the super. Thank you to all you guys who send those in. That means a lot, guys. I know my why. Lost my left eye and super worried about how I would keep my house and family supported. What is yours, Vix and chat? Oh, everybody drop their why in the chat. We will read through those. So mine is more of I don't agree with the ability of all of these institutions to push companies out of business. So it's a bit there's a big game in my head. There's like a game flowing right here. It's like you can beat them at their own game. It's like they've been manipulating everything. They've had so much control and they have messed it up big time many times in the past and they never learned their lesson. So this time retail has gotten on the other side of it. I can have a role in basically saying, "Hey, you can't do that. Play by the rules or you're going to get burned." So my why is more of like a big screw you to a lot of these institutions and the people there that think they're hot shit. They can do whatever they want to do and nothing's ever going to happen. And that's really it right there. And I don't really want to have to go to school forever. That's the other part. Did Citadel double their they might have. No, nobody knows if Citadel has their short position. Nobody knows. Mine is for a fairer market and to shed light on this BS corruption. Money is just a bonus reward. Jay, that's a good one. My baby girl needs a college fund. This is my why. There you go. Comfort for the rest of my life. That's a good one. Let's see. Please answer if Citadel doubled their short position. Patty, they don't report their short positions on 13Fs. So we don't know. Let's see. The financial freedom home from the town my career is at to my hometown I grew up. There you go. Ella says my why is so vast, but ultimately I want to see a new golden age where we can prosper and define new heights. There you go, Ella. All right, let's see. There's this Goldman Sachs thing that I want to talk about too. We can go over that a little bit later. Triple witching is on September 17th. Ooh, that's also the next monthly options expiration. Ooh, interesting. September could be a really interesting date for things to start freaking out. That's when it could be the start. We've already seen this liquidity situation start. It just depends on if the market is or if the media outlets are going to really start blowing this out of proportion. Not out of proportion, but like really reporting on it, which I think they should. But they're not going to want to sound the alarm on anything until all of the institutions have gotten out. Like they're trying to confirm if something is going to happen. Now, there's all of these Fed meetings coming up that they could do something. Will they? Who knows? The Fed is going to try to prop this up for as long as possible because they can't really afford to have another big correction or like recession. NSCC 005 approved in effect September 11th. Marco, yeah, we saw that. We went over exactly why that's really good. It's like one margin call where they all have to put up more money. And then we also went over how that margin requirement could go to 200 or not 250. That's what it's going to. It could go to 10 million in Q4. So there could be another proposed rule change that comes out very soon that says, oh, for these specific members with these specific qualifications, the initial required fund deposit could go to 10 million. And that's going to be big because they'll have multiple accounts and it's going to drain them of more liquidity, which we've already seen happening. And that gets us closer to where we need to be. Overall, I'm holding so people that are actually in need can get them sweet, sweet tendies. Dylan, that's a good why. Seth says, my why is I'm tired of all the corruption. We need to take our power and freedom back and not have a rigged game against us. I agree. My why, I just like the stock. There you go. All right. Let's see. Is Finance Wizards your channel? No, my channel is Short the VIX. No, I don't have two channels. People used to come on and be like, "Oh, hi, Matt," and I was like, "No, that's weird. Why would you compare me to him? It's different. I don't think I sound like him or provide the same type of information. I think he's provides a lot of really good information that I don't have." Let's see. I lost my wife 2 years ago. I'm raising children by myself. That's a good why. Noel, good luck, man. Let's see. Hodl to 100K. Yeah, the thing is that nobody knows when this is really gonna play out, and nobody knows how high it's gonna go. Oh, Antics coming in here with the wild wise. Let's see. Wife changing money, as they say. Jay, be careful, man. If your wife owns AMC, she could change you out too. Let's see. Let's see if Ortex has switched it up a little bit. Nothing changed yet. We usually see the Ortex changes a little bit later, but again, we're seeing the short interest go up. We're seeing the utilization kind of chill out a little bit, but I do believe that where the stock is at right now, they're going to take out more short positions and they're going to increase that utilization, which puts more pressure on not only the hedge fund shorting, but the brokers that have loaned them those shares. Yeah, we can go over exit strategies too. Hamid says I only have 180 shares. My why is to jumpstart a retirement fund. There you go. All right, let's go through this Goldman Sachs thing over here. Yeah, we kind of already went over how retail is just going crazy. There was more updates today on the liquidity situation where it's just draining. Which we've seen that the repos are incredibly high right now. There's not enough collateral in the market and there's too much cash in the banking system. Like, let's pull up the repos right now. It's just ridiculous what we're seeing. It's like 4 days in a row over $1 trillion. It should not be like that. All right, repos right here. Was this the highest one? It was. If it wasn't the highest, it was close to the. Oh no, it wasn't. 70 participating counterparties with an amount submitted and accepted of $1.036 trillion. What this is essentially showing us is that one, there's too much cash in the banking system, meaning that they can't stay within those regulatory standards that they need to meet because they have so much cash that the interest that they have to pay on it is now a liability to them. So what they do is they engage in these overnight operations to the Fed in order to basically lower their liabilities. But it tells us that they have too much of something. So the Fed has essentially overcooked everything. That's essentially what's happened. Even if you have 10 shares, that would be life-changing money. I don't want to hear I only have. Yeah, anybody that has one share or 100,000 shares, everybody is important in this situation. Matt's totally real oil, just wants to pay off his house. There you go. Let's see. All right. Yeah, keep dropping the questions in. We will keep it going. Let's see. What do we have here? Oh, we also have to go over the Citadel margin call. I don't think we did that yet. I got to pull that up for you guys. Here we go. This is what we need to look at. View report. No, I just want the PDF. Don't make me look through all this crap. Set it up. Oh, wait, that's just the wrong thing. This one. Nope. Oh, God. I hate looking for stuff. It's just annoying. All right. So Citadel's derivative exposure was about 33 billion at the end of 2020. Now, what we looked at before is that, well, a lot of those OTC derivative positions are going to get margin called in a really large way on September 1st. We know everybody's over leveraged, and we know that there's a crazy amount of derivative exposure because of this right here. Let's pull this up. Right here. U.S. banking system has a $168 trillion nightmare looming. It was ignored in written testimony for today's Senate banking hearing. J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, and Bank of America hold $168 trillion in derivatives. That's a boatload. And then the rest of them as a total own about $188 trillion. So the difference in the top four versus the rest of them is about $20 trillion. We don't know the percentage of those positions that are OTC. We don't know, but the fact remains is that it's a lot. That is a lot of derivative exposure that they have. And we've seen Warren Buffett say that derivatives are essentially like the market's ticking time bomb. That if something happens, derivatives are going to be the downfall of the next or the next reason for the downfall of the United States financial system. So we're seeing the derivative exposure. So if you look at the past couple reports like this, it went down to this 100. It then down below 168. It curled back up to this 168 trillion, and it's increasing. So we're seeing the derivative exposure start to increase. In 2008, it was right around what we are seeing right now. But we also have to take into account like inflation. Because we've seen a lot of inflation since then. So I do think we still have a little bit of a ways to go in terms of getting that derivative exposure to a crazy number that's going to sound the alarms. Can you touch a bit more on how reverse repos do anything to remove liabilities? They only park it overnight and the rate of return is nothing. So how would that do anything? Basically, Batshit, what it shows is that they've overcooked everything. Hold on. I'll pull up some stuff that we can look at. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Nope. That's not it. All right. Right here. Let's see. Here we go. Why are they going to the Fed? Either there's too much cash or not enough collateral. It's two sides of the same coin. It's also pretty much the opposite of what happened in September 2019 when repo rates suddenly skyrocketed. Let's see. So basically, it's saying that there's evidence that QE has gone too far. That's like the main takeaway from it. And that's kind of what we were saying. It's like everything's overcooked. The banks have too much money and they need to get rid of it. The other thing, here's the other thing, is that I've kind of had this theory that if these banks don't want more money in terms of cash or even collateral, that if the Fed ends up backing off of these reverse repos, or if the rates go up, one, the banks are going to lose a boatload of money. That's something that Houston Wade talks about a lot. And two, if these over-leveraged positions have to deposit more cash into the banking system as collateral, and they're basically holding that, they're not going to want more cash as collateral. So it could get to the point where these institutions are basically saying, hey, we can deposit you more collateral and maintain these liquidity requirements. But the banks are like, no, we don't want it. And that could be one of the ways that we also get one of those forced liquidations. There's so many things that could set it off. That's why I've said in a lot of my videos and live streams that it's not going to just be like one thing that sets off the squeeze. It's going to be like maybe 3, 4, or 5 things that kind of corner these funds. And it's going to be another situation, maybe like June, where the stars aligned. We had the breakout, we had the options, and that's why we ripped. We also had that FOMO aspect to it. It could be the same thing when we're talking about how the actual squeeze gets set off. that there's going to be a lot of different things happening and they have no choice but to cover. The other thing that I've said a couple of times is that it's very possible that when the market ends up selling off, AMC goes with it. And I don't want anybody to really freak out about that because it's just them adding to their short positions. And a lot of the time, these algorithms are in charge of a lot of like trading these positions. So if they push the stock down to a certain amount, they're adding. So let's say the stock is here and then it drops to here, but there's this spread right here of new shorts. But let's say right here is when the algo switches to buy. So now they say, okay, we're going to cover, but now we have to cover this additional amount of shorts. So it's basically either starting to squeeze from here or down here. So it's starting to squeeze with maybe, let's say, 100 shorts or with 150 down here. It's just adding to the amount of shorts that they would have to cover and starting from a lower level. It doesn't really change anything. And that's why I'm saying, well, if the price goes up, the price goes down. If there's no evidence that the shorts are covering their positions, then nothing has changed. Let's see. And if the Fed raises rates, that'll just kick the can down the road. Cody, the market would sell off. If the Fed raises rates, the market would probably not like that in the short term. So that's a way to maybe control inflation, to control the market, because we're seeing, I think half of the GDP growth, or a little bit over half, was due to inflation. So it wasn't that we actually had strong economic growth. It was just we just had a bunch of inflation. So in order to control that, they would need to raise rates. So they would encourage less borrowing, essentially. They would de-incentivize more borrowing. And that would cause the market to sell off. And again, we also have that risk of a credit downgrade from the United States in October. October is when I believe that debt ceiling situation is really going to come full circle. If we see a downgrade, the market's going to sell off again, and it drains more liquidity. So what we see here is that margin requirements going up, the rate of margin calls going up, and we have catalysts that are going to that could potentially send the market down. So it's basically a double whammy in just draining all of these institutions of their liquidity. About time we shed light on this, 100%. I just got another job mainly to buy more AMC shares because of that, I wouldn't mind if it doesn't squeeze for a few months. Chris, 100%. The longer this plays out, the more shares people get to buy, and the more shares that the funds are going to have to buy back from retail and institutions when they start to cover. So the more they kick the can down the road, it is very possible that they are just making it a higher, more aggressive, more profitable short squeeze when it actually plays out. Yeah, taper tantrum. Yeah, I think that was 2019, 2018 was the taper tantrum. Any news on the Citadel 13F? Yeah, we went over it. I just don't necessarily think that there's going to be anything crazy in there. If somebody does find something, that's cool. But at the same time, we've been over that they don't have to report their shorts. They don't have to report like shorted options, which just basically means like selling naked calls or selling puts. They don't have to report any of that. They just reporting like basically all of their long positions and put contracts. But you can't look at put contracts as shorting. It's just insurance. Like if they have shares and they have puts, it's like, oh, they're just buying insurance on their position. Oh, TMI's avocado is in here. There we go. Let's see. They say the most washed. All right. As long as the borrow fees on AMC are cheap, it will continue to consolidate in a range. H2 Pros, that's very possible. Vix, what are your thoughts on AMC putting bigger anime movies in theaters? They could do that. We also have that deal with Warner Brothers where it's going to be an exclusive. Movies will be exclusively in theaters for 45 days starting in 2022. That's good. Also in 2022, it looks like AMC is going to be able to pay off a lot of their debt. And you know what that could lead to? Dividend. If they can get to the point where they can offer a dividend, it's just we as shareholders have made it more difficult for them to do that, if that makes sense. Because when you think about what's happened, if they were able to raise more money or if they waited on those shares, sold them at higher numbers, yeah, it would have pushed the price down, flooded the market with supply, but they would have been able to pay off a lot more of their debt and then offer a dividend, which a lot of people are looking to as a squeeze catalyst. Question: when AMC squeeze happens, will Webull and other brokers be able to cash all of us out? Leroy, yeah, they will, but there are restrictions on different brokers on the size of the trade that you can make in any given time. So you just have to look at what is going to be your broker's basically requirement or like standard for what the size of a trade can be. And the other thing that I want to go over is halts. Because I think we're heading back into the time where we could see some volatility halts. We're seeing some bullish momentum potentially start to pick up. And if we start ripping again and we see a lot of volatility in AMC, we're definitely going to see some halts. So let's take a look at exactly what this is and why it's going to show up as like stock halt or suspended. Suspended is going to be the word that freaks people out. And this is something that I want people to understand that it's actually not a bad thing at all. Where's Investopedia? This is the easiest way to do it. I'm like so bad at spelling things tonight. Like really bad. I don't know what it is. Nipol, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Did you look into the HBO Max and Warner Brothers yet? Ooh, I saw you sent me that. It had to do with like that membership thing. Nipol, I did look at it briefly. I was very busy today, but I will look at that again because that was very interesting. Again, just shoot me a message because I get distracted a lot with like work related things. All right, trading halts. Here we go. A trading halt is a temporary suspension of trading for a particular security or securities at one exchange or across numerous exchanges. Trading halts are typically enacted in anticipation of a news announcement or volatility. So what happens here is that the stock trading just gets halted for like 15 minutes. That's it. It's just on volatility. Hood was halted more than 6 times. Yeah, AMC had a bunch of halts back in June. But what happens is it's supposed to be to like protect retail and like protect from really volatile price movements. What it really is it allows for these institutions to see what's going on and reposition themselves. The other thing is that if you have a stop loss in a trading halt and the stock opens down, they can stop loss hunt you and take your order. So let's say like AMC's trading at 500 and it halts, but you have a stop loss at maybe 450 and the stock opens up after the halt at like 460. It is very possible that they take your order at 450, but the stock opens up at like 460 and rips back up. Now you don't have shares, and that is the risk of a stop loss. So I personally probably won't be using a stop loss. Stop losses are good, or a trailing stop are good if you want to kind of be hands off of your position. And if you like want it to trail where the stock is, you can get out when the squeeze is happening. But there are a wide variety of ways to plan your sells. Let's see. SCV gets easily. Geo, you're funny. You may be developing early onset dementia, short the VIX. Guys, I played tackle football since the 2nd grade, and I definitely have many head injuries. I also did some other things too that definitely gave me head injuries. Gives you time to recoup the emotions. Yeah, it just gives you like a break. So we're going to see like when we ripped here, we saw a couple of volatility halts on the way up and the way down. So it's just like a pause on the market because they're like, okay, what's going on here? Everybody relax. And then they open it back up again. I believe cells would still fill during a halt. Nothing would fill during a halt. It's just when the halt gets released, that could be when something like you get stop loss hunted and they take your order. That's a risk if you have a stop loss in place. Same thing with market orders. Market orders can screw you over too, but market orders can just be good if you want to get an order filled quickly. There's positives and negatives to everything. That's why I like to just lay out the information for you guys, and then you guys can make your own decision. Oh, what's up, evolutionary flow? Also gives a chance to get in. Yeah, you can't buy or sell during a halt, and options will freak out. Here's the other thing. It is very possible that during a halt, option bids asks or the price of your option like goes to 0 or near 0 or fluctuates really crazy when the stock does halt. That doesn't mean that your option then just became worthless. So be careful of that as well. If you see a really crazy fluctuation in the value of your account, You just have to wait until the halt is over. Nothing is really wrong. It's just a volatility halt. So I want to make sure everybody understands that. So what Vix is saying is don't listen to him. He's too many head injuries. I've only had one confirmed concussion, but I do remember that when I was like in middle school and like just before middle school, that during football season, I just had a constant headache, which is probably bad. So give me like I've got probably like 5 more good years left in me, and then send me to the home. I got a cushion from trying to jump into a moving minivan. Quentin, that doesn't sound like a smart decision. Yeah, it's called. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I gotta go through these chats. Let's see. Lots of halts during the June gamma over 3 times. Yeah. Vix, do you think crypto is gonna crash soon? It looks like a bull trap. Latin hits. If the stock market starts to sell off, crypto is gonna take a beating. But the thing is that if we can squeeze as the market's coming down, a lot of people are going to have a lot more money and they can reposition themselves into better plays for the future. So crypto could be one of them. If you really like a crypto coin or you see a lot of value in crypto into the future, then that could be a really good buying opportunity. If we go into a really high inflation government and not government, but environment, and you need a way to preserve your buying power, then gold or any of those other metals are going to be a really good way to play that. There's also some like you could also take your money out, go to real estate, do whatever you want to do. So in my opinion, AMC is like the first step. Like with my AMC money, I'm not going to buy anything crazy. Like I might take a cool trip and go crazy for like a week, but other than that, it's all going to be going towards other investments to set myself up for the future. Like I'm not going to buy anything crazy with the AMC money. I'll buy something crazy with the money that the AMC money produces me in the future, which is something that I want a lot of people to get on the same page with. But like, yeah, if you have outstanding debt, you want to pay off your house, you want to help somebody, make a charitable donation, it's completely up to you. You can do whatever you want with your money. I just want people to be smart with what happens after. Vix does like to party. Are there a large number of calls at 40? Yes, there are. Right now, for this week, there's 26,000. That's a decent amount, but we just saw 20,000 go in the money at 35, and we're still there. So if we can see the stock continue to go up, we could see this delta right here start to go up, which would then cause more buying volume to come into the stock. And that could be even better for pushing us up even higher to 37, 38, 40. And that could really help us. $10 million won't keep you happy forever. I mean, exactly. You got to do something with it, guys. When the changes on collateral and margin calls start in September, yeah, it's September 1st. And again, I think a lot of people may have been confused and people just didn't get it. When I was saying that September 1st starts that big wave of margin calls, that doesn't mean the squeeze is going to happen then. That's not what it is. What it means is that it's just gonna be like adding fuel to the fire on this liquidity burn that we know is happening with these margin calls and the overall liquidity in the market. We just know that when September comes around, that situation could get ramped up. STV, how much will you pay me for the STV trademark I now own? I'll give you a penny. Let's see. Question for anyone interested in answering. If a margin call occurs with AMC, do you think it might trigger margin calls in other stocks that are heavily shorted, i.e. SNDL, Clove? Unknown name, that is a very good point. It is very possible that one squeeze could trigger another one because it's likely that a lot of these institutions were like, oh, we're just going to short the meme stocks. So yeah, it's very possible that if they have to cover one short, they might have to cover another short. Rhode Island, thank you so much for the super chat. Shout out to all of you guys who are sending in the supers, liking the videos, and just coming in here and hanging out. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Rhode Island says STV, STV. Hi, Rhode Island. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Let's see. How many calls would be in the money if we hit 55 by Friday? A lot. Where there's like 80,000 now. There would be a boatload. We'd probably get close to 130,000 contracts in the money. Probably get into real estate, not fake estate. Yeah. Hey, they can't synthetically create another house. I want to see an 8 panel with UTMI tray review dork on how to not blow $1 million. Honestly, yeah, we could do that. I mean, I've never had $1 million, so like you would probably want to speak to people with like experience of like coming into a large sum of money and what they did. How many of you Oh boy, cryptos are not backed by anything. Even starting process of making them legal tender would have a major pushback. Keep your emotions in check with cryptos. You can make money with them, but yeah, I mean it's possible. But again, there have been a lot of practical applications that we've started to see come in with crypto, i.e., AMC is about to accept Bitcoin. And the thing is that if anybody's like a bull on crypto and is upset that AMC is now accepting Bitcoin, it's like you're just a hypocrite because you want something to happen, but you don't want it to happen with this company. It's just stupid. Um, how high can AMC go? As high as it wants to. Let's see. Do you think having a price target of 5 digits is conservative? Yeah, it could go as high as it wants to. We don't really know how high it's going to go. How long after call run in the money do they hedge for them? As long as they are in the money or really close to the money, they will continue to hedge. Most likely, they will continue to hedge up to the break even. They will want to become directionally neutral until they pass that break even price or a little bit after. Because essentially what they do is they create a covered call position. Because when you sell these contracts, they're naked calls. So they're all uncovered positions. So in order to hedge those, you then buy the shares and it creates like a covered call position. Um, Fuzzy, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really, really appreciate it. I really like the September 17th 145. Very familiar to this price action. I made my 44,000% buying these long way out calls. That's how I'm out up 45,000%. How about you, Vix? Fuzzy, that's a really good question about options. The options that I'm looking at are very far out the money, but they're very far out in time. So it's giving yourself time for the play to play out. Um, but you're also giving yourself a lot of upside. So like any options that I'm looking at buying are really, really far out in time and also far out in the money. So I'm not spending a crazy amount of money. But Fuzzy, I know you've had really good luck in the past with those options. I'm guessing it was the June 40s. Those were awesome. I had a January 40 back then when it ran up, and that one did pretty well. But I held it all the way up and all the way down into the 40s and 50s. I was holding that one because my whole point on that contract was really to buy the shares. But then I did some other stuff with it though. Cody, thank you so much for the super. Would you move from Robinhood to Fidelity? It depends. If you are no longer trying to buy more shares, then it really doesn't matter, in my opinion, because the argument that a lot of people make is that, oh my God, these brokers might turn off the buy button. It's like, okay, if they do that, multiple brokers are going to, and it's still going to affect the price. So if you're at a brokerage that doesn't turn off the buy button and you can still buy, well, it doesn't matter if the other ones do and it's affecting the price, if that makes sense. But if you are trying to buy more shares and you don't want to engage in payment for order flow and have these orders get routed however they do, and you want them to go direct to the exchange, then yeah, Fidelity would be a really good option because though that is, you can use Active Trader Pro and send your orders directly to the exchange and bypass all of that payment for order flow BS. Let's see. So with all the institutions buying millions of shares, what happens if they dump them all at once and side with the hedge funds? They're not going to right now. It would be so illogical for them to dump their shares right now because one, their average share price is most likely a lot higher than what we're at right now. And the second thing that we have to think about is that they were buying more shares and holding from 10 all the way up to 77 and all the way back down. So they all see the potential of this. They're not stupid. Like the shorts are honestly the dumb money in this situation. No matter what those idiots at CNBC try to say, the shorts are really the dumb money. So with all these institutions continuously buying more shares, they're waiting for this big boom to happen. Now, if they're selling at these high levels, well, okay, so are we. And the people that are going to be providing the buying volume to buy from us are going to be the shorts that need to cover their positions. Never hold to expiration and execute. You will lose the extrinsic value of the contract. TMI's avocado, very true. You will have a higher dollar amount gain almost every single time if you don't exercise. But if you want the shares, then you can buy the shares. Cap, thank you so much for the super. Vix, you're the man. Need you to put up some lessons, my dude. You have such good perspective and drop education nonstop. Appreciate you, my guy. Cap, thank you so much for the super, man. I really, really appreciate that. Do you think this squeeze that we speak of will happen before they shut down? I don't think they're going to do that. But did you see Kringle Kitten's tweet about NSCC 005? Skylar, yeah, we actually read that on here a little bit earlier. Sup, y'all. What did I miss? Which hedge fund tripled down? Renaissance, the most successful hedge fund of all time. We'll pull that back up for everybody coming in here. Renaissance, right here. So right here, Jim Simon's Renaissance Technologies Fund tripled its stake in AMC last quarter and slashed its Tesla holdings by 75%. Now, when we look and see who exactly Renaissance Technologies is, I don't think a lot of people really know who know about Renaissance. So we can see Renaissance Flagship Medallion Fund, which is run mostly for fund employees, is famed for the best track record on Wall Street, returning more than 66% annualized before fees and 39% after fees from 1988 to 2018. That is 30 years. So the thing is that the new, CNBC, who doesn't have any effect on what I do at all, can come out and say that we're dumb money and call us mean names. But if you're going to call retail investors dumb money for putting their money into AMC, then you're also calling the most successful hedge fund of all time stupid. That's just disrespectful, and you're an idiot for doing that because you have no basis for your short thesis. So that's my little rant. Are we still bullish on institutions buying, or is it more neutral considering some may be hedging their liabilities? Caesar, I think the institutions buying is very bullish. Let's see. I hope they turn the sell button off at 1K and turn it on at 100K. Yeah, that's the other thing. A lot of people were really freaked out for a while that they were going to turn off the sell button. But the thing is that if the shorts are getting margin called and they need to buy, if the people who hold the most shares, retail, can't sell, then there's a smaller amount of shares that they can use to cover, and the price is just going to skyrocket due to just the basic laws of supply and demand. If there's less of something and an overwhelming amount of demand, the price of that good, whatever it is going to go up. 7% interest on $1 million is $70K per year for life without ever touching the principal. That's what really makes this life-changing money. Exactly. What triggered the GME short squeeze and the AMC gamma squeeze earlier this year? Was it just the shorts covering their positions or something else that forced the squeeze to happen? So for June is the situation that I'm most familiar with AMC. It was that technical breakout around $14 where we started to see a little bit of a FOMO rally. Some shorts may have covered if they were in really low and they got blown out of their short position. We definitely saw some shorts cover. 100%. Some of them did. Little bit. Not much, though. Not enough to cause the big squeeze. But then we saw that $40 strike for June start to get close to the money. And there were 200,000 contracts there. That is so much. That's the most amount of open interest that I've seen get really close to the money out of anything. Like right now, HYG has a pretty high open interest on their monthly expiration date for the puts. But we see that a lot with them. So when we're thinking about what happened with AMC in June, it was a technical breakout, FOMO rally, gamma squeeze, more FOMO, then more shorts came in and tried to knock it down even more and make some money. But again, those shorts are kind of trapped right now because they couldn't push it down enough. They can't get it below 30 because we just keep buying the dip. SCV, how long do you think the squeeze will last? Days, weeks? I think it is going to be between days and weeks, unless it is going to be that long squeeze situation where it's just drawn out for a while. Waiting for the merger with AMC and NASA for theaters on the moon. Yeah. Oh, tomorrow I might go to an AMC theater during the day and just buy a bunch of stuff because I won't have enough time. They open at 11, so I was just gonna walk in right as it opens and just buy a bunch of stuff and then come home right after the gym. Let's see. When the MOS happens, VIX is going to buy the Liquid IV company and make it short the IV. Yeah, Liquid IV. If you're listening right now, I drink your stuff every single day. That's how I make my Hedge tiers. Like the gallon that you guys see me drink all the time is always Liquid IV. Vix will be in the mental hospital yelling, "The squeeze is coming, the squeeze is coming." I feel like I'm in the mental hospital sometimes when I lay out information for people and then they're like, "You don't know that." And I'm like, "Oh God, it's right there." Let's see. What else we got? Oh, do we have some shills in the chat tonight? Not really. Yeah, it could real estate after the squeeze. Kelly, that's where I'm headed to. Wait, you told your wife? Matt's totally real oil. I don't have a wife. I'm 22 years old in college. Vix, how long do you think the MOS will last? I think it's going to be a decent amount of time because here's the thing. With what we saw from the save out, that there could potentially be billions of shares out there, potentially due to the statistical analysis that was run, that amount of volume is going to take a lot of time to play out. Like with those massive short positions that they have, it's going to take time. So I don't think anybody's going to miss it. Like if we start seeing this, like the price start to rip and the option chain doesn't look like this, where there's like 26,000 contracts, even if the option chain did look like this, and we got all the way past this 145, which we see right here is like 61,000 contracts, and we went like way above that and the price is still ripping, then that would suggest that that the squeeze is most likely happening. That is one of the ways that we can tell. The other way that we might be able to tell is overall market sell-off due to the liquidations of other positions in order to cover these shorts, or hedge fund bankruptcies. But that could be a very lagging indicator because they're gonna have to basically fail, do everything behind the scenes to try to figure out if they can still stay in business. Then they would announce that, and it could be months after. That's kind of what we saw with the GameStop situation. If you miss anything, it may be the peak. Yeah, I think like 0.0001% of people are going to be able to sell at the peak. And if you do, that is like hitting the lottery twice. Especially if you do it with options, you'll crush it. And I also want to touch on this because I say this a lot in I see this comment a lot. It's like, buy shares, not options. One, don't tell anybody else what to do with their money. That's not really something that you need to be doing. The second thing is that options are both positive and negative for the stock. Take today for an example. Most of today's price movement to the upside seems to be the result of call options going in the money, meaning that institutions are providing more buying volume for the options that they have sold. More buying volume, stock goes up. The other thing, though, is that right here, we can see that 61,000 contracts are being held at this 145 and the bid is $2. So that's about $120,000 that could be spread out going to institutions, providing them liquidity. Is $120,000 really going to make or break them? No. But at the same time, it is providing them some liquidity. So it is a positive and negative. It's a kind of a back and forth of, well, yeah, these options can ping the stock around and we can see these big rips up and we can see these big sell-offs due to a lot of these options. But we also have the negative side of, yeah, it could be providing some of these large institutions selling them with liquidity. Let's see. What flavor and which liquid IV do you drink? Hydration, energy. I drink hydration, and it's the lemon lime. Do I think institutions are going to hold until 100K? I don't know. We don't even know if it can get to 100K. Hi, Vix. I see a lot of traders are predicting a sideways move tomorrow, but I think we climb, easing back up to FOMO. We could also see, here's the thing, if a lot of these options were hedged for, and the stock goes down tomorrow, we could see the unhedging of those options. Like when we see here, there's nothing really crazy on the put side this week. which is interesting. We're not going to see that aggressive short volume that we've seen due to the institutions hedging those puts. We are seeing it more on the call side. So if we continue to go up, 37 is going to be important. If we can hit 37 and 38, I think we rip to 40. But we have to cross there with momentum, and there has to be enough buyers and sellers willing to transact at those higher prices at that current time. And then the institutions are going to come in and provide that buying volume, and then we could really start to rip. And then we go into the end of August, September, when we start to see things really start to play out with the broad market. And that's why I'm so excited about everything that we have going right now. Where did the 100K price come from? I don't know, but it's not like unrealistic due to those like geometric mean calculations. Like it's not like not everybody would be able to sell at those levels. Like I highly doubt everybody's going to diamond hand until those crazy high levels because one, a lot of people are in this for like life-changing money, but nobody's seen it in their accounts before. If you see your account go to 2, 3, 4, 5 million and the stock is trading at between $1 and $10,000, you're most likely going to be like, I should probably take some profit here. And my dog is freaking out again over something. Hey Vix, what are your thoughts on AMC 2022 leaps? Right now, the January 2022s are not leaps. It's actually kind of close. When you think about it, the leaps would really be 2023, and I kind of like those. The 2023 leaps really give a lot of time to expiration. If you're thinking that we're going to see a really large price movement to the upside between now and 2023, which I think is entirely possible, those options could pay a lot because when we rip, you're going to see the implied volatility get jacked up on them, and you're going to have a lot of time premium baked into it as well. Oh, what's up, STV's protein shake? When dog, I don't know. He's hanging out. He doesn't really come in. Can we safely say that a squeeze isn't really realistic before we reach back up to at least 50 a share since all shorts didn't cover earlier at that price point? Yeah. So my little working theory about what I have for the squeeze is that we are one more big rip up from the squeeze. Like we are one June like price movement away from shorts really having to cover. But again, we could just wake up one day when we're trading at 35 right here and a large short decides to cover and we just start ripping. So nobody really knows how this is going to play out. There's a lot of different theories on how it could potentially play out, but nobody really knows. Where's Avocado Man? He'll probably be coming around a little bit. But why settle for a few million when it could be much more with everyone working together? What will hurt it, I think, is people selling little bits, adding up. Yeah, it could, but at the same time, if there's going to be a lot of buying volume getting pushed in from these shorts covering, it doesn't necessarily matter who's selling in what fashion. It's like, well, if there's still buying volume getting pushed in and there's less of a supply of something, then yeah. And the thing is that if there are paper hands, it's just consolidating the really convicted shareholders. So like if the average shares per shareholder went up to like 500 or 700, and the amount of shareholders went down, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing because those are the people that are in this for the long run and are willing to hold. It's not the people that just like kind of got in and are hoping for like 100% gain. It's the people that have been in this for a while that are like, oh, I'm ready to go. I'm diamond handing this. I'm a full-blown silverback ape ready to go to these high levels, and I'm holding no matter what. So that's kind of the positives and negatives of people selling off like when we see these dips and then the real convicted apes buying the shares. It will be gradual. Nobody sells all at once, just like nobody buys all at once. Niraj, very possible. Let's see. SV, what's your opinion on the big load up on shorts taken out Thursday that still haven't seemed to be used yet? That's interesting. We've seen this happen a couple of times where these big blocks of shares go out on loan, and we haven't seen them basically thrown into the price. Now, I think that was Thursday right here. So they could have been used right here from 34 all the way down to 32. That could have been what happened when when those 14 million shares went out on loan. And they tried to knock it down here. It went from 34 to 31.93. That could have been where a lot of those shares were burned, or they could have burned them up here. So it could just be them not trying to blow those shares all at once. It could be them gradually entering these short positions. But we kind of understand what happens with these shorts now, that they just really want to push the price down. So it would make sense that they would find a spot that they like and just blast it, in order to get it down to a certain level where it forces those other institutions to have to short as well due to the puts that they've sold. Maybe the good guys took the shares out to stop the bad guys from getting them. Mike V, that's been a theory that's been floating around for a while. It's very possible. But that's some real funny business going on there if that was happening. They use borrowed shares to cover the FTDs, maybe. Yeah, so I've heard that getting floated around, that you can use borrowed shares to cover FTDs. I think you actually can, because you just need the shares. Um, and it kicks the can down the road even more. I'd have to do a little bit more research into that. I think Ben was the one that showed me that. But yeah, I do think that is possible. Good evening, Yukon. I will be at Yukon in 5 days. Not many retail can buy AMC at 150 unless they use broker with fractional shares, and I don't think Fidelity has fractional shares. Yeah, but at the same time, we still have institutions piling in. And I think with a lot of retail investors still playing options, I think they're going to be able to use those options profits in order to buy more AMC. Let's see. Yay, drinking the water. Good boy, Vix. Yeah. Could apes borrow the shares so the shorts can't? I think they could. I think that would be very manipulative, though. That would be a very weird thing. Like, I can't tell people to just go do that. YouTube always rolls me over to you after watching Trey's videos. Oh, that's cool. Vix, will they be a buyer when we want to sell, even if the price is like 5 or 6 digits? Yes. Here's what happens. Let's say you are short on AMC, and now the price is so high that you can no longer come up with the capital to maintain those liquidity requirements and those maintenance margin requirements. Your broker is going to be like, well, if you can't pay us, you got to close out your position, or we'll close it out for you and you're going to owe us. So what happens then is you are most likely going to have to sell off your other positions, and you're getting forced to buy the shares. You have to, or your broker will do it. They'll just buy the share, and then you'll be on the hook for that money. So yes, they will be buying at those high levels. Oh boy, Antics. It is not power half hour yet. You're going nuts. Let's see. Because from 811 to 822 for the T plus 35, AMC had over 30 million FTDs due. No, you can't add them like that. It's a net change. Let's see. Yeah. So what we have really is a lot of options going in the money. We have institutions buying up shares in record fashion, which is awesome. And that's just getting reported now. They're not buying it right. They could be buying right now. Very possible, but we're not going to know that for a very long time. It's going to be within 45 days after the end of the next quarter. So we have a lot of good things going for us right now. I think a lot of people are getting to the point where it's like, oh, shorts haven't covered. They're manipulating the stock, obviously. And then we're just kind of hanging out, chilling, waiting for it to happen. Like, we'll keep providing you the updates, but that's kind of where we're at. And then we also have 10-year going down. SCV eats avocado flavored ice cream. No, I don't. I do not. Shower thought. If they made a prequel, okay. I always remember he has what? They liquidate behind the scenes on big positions in blue chips or what have you. Yeah, Alexander, they would do that. How long are you going to be live? I'll be live until 10 Eastern, so another hour and a half about. Where is my truest love? Rogue the Legacy. I don't know. I sent everybody the link. I think TMI might want to pop in a little while. But everybody kind of had a busy day. Also, there's this thing that we had popped up earlier. Where is it? Hold up. Where is this? FX. So CNBC Pro reported that a correction could start after options expire on August 20th. Right here. We saw this earlier. CNBC Pro says a correction could start after options expire on August 20th. We've kind of been saying that going into Q4, we could see something really start to happen. SCB, what's your opinion on using margin? I mean, I don't do it because it's really risky. Like like the problem is that if you're using margin, it allows for your losses to be potentially infinite, which is bad. But if your positions go your way, you're going to be able to make more money than if you were just putting up your own capital. There's a lot of risk involved with margin. And with a lot of margin accounts, they can just loan out your shares and you don't even know. Cash accounts are not supposed to. I've seen it done though. Like I have a cash account and I had shares and I saw that securities lending was turned on and I was like getting interest on like positions a while ago. And I was like, that's not supposed to be able to happen. STV, yeah, I don't really eat ice cream. Somebody got blocked? I didn't block anybody. Let's see. I didn't block Sean. Where's Sean at? STV, was it you or TMI that was going to do the stream with Alpha Status Stocks, aka Mike and Andrew? That's awesome and speak highly of all of you guys. Oh, that's awesome. I would definitely like to have them on. We could try to set that up this week. I love having other people on the stream. It's always fun. I think institutions acquired positions with cash covered puts that went in the money in the June drop and are milking positions via covered call contracts will not sell as long as safe and reliable income. TMI's avocado, that's a very interesting theory. Rogue is out getting pool lessons after that poor showing the other day. Guys, that was wild. I was just like hanging. I literally left my computer because I was like researching something. I came back and it's just Rogue on TMI stream just playing pool. I didn't block Sean. I literally didn't block Sean. I haven't blocked anybody in a while. Unless there's like a silly shill that comes in here. I definitely didn't block him. Let's see. I've used 100K of margin for some great swing profit, but watched it every second. Yeah, it's going to be very nerve-wracking if you've got a bunch of margin on there. Yeah, Sean does make the chat fun. I didn't ban Sean. I like definitely didn't ban him. Let's see. Yeah. Also, if you guys don't mind just dropping a like on the video, it just helps us out with the algorithm. SEV Sean being blocked is just a joke. Gotcha. All right. Yeah. Keep asking away the questions, everybody. Let's keep the conversation going. Also, let's see. Here's my Instagram right here. If you guys want to follow me over there, I will follow you back right now. Oh my God, my dog is freaking out. He's so loud. Can you shut up, please? All right. He's just going crazy. Is it true I heard one hedge fund borrows shares from other hedge funds to cover FTDs? It's very true. SCV, can you unblock my girlfriend? No, I can't. She was rude. Let's see. Is it true I heard you blocked Sean? SCV, will you be investing in gourmet French houses? See, the thing is I actually know what you're talking about because I was listening to the stream today when he was talking about that. That was funny. That's like right around the time that I'll like throw on the stream after I'm like done with my video and just hang out and listen. I usually don't say anything. But yeah, that'll be like my background noise when I'm like uploading my video. But yeah, that was funny. You cannot cover with shares on loan. You can't cover with them, but you can you might be able to close out FTDs. I've seen there's some like weird loophole. I'm honestly not 100% sure if that's true. So I would have to look at that again. I remember going over it with somebody and it did look like a plausible theory, but again, I would have to look at that scenario again. SV, can you touch on negative beta? Seen a couple of guys talking about it. Yeah. Okay. So beta is the correlation of a stock's return to the market return. So if it has a positive beta, there's supposed to be a positive correlation. So let's say the S&P 500 goes up AMC would then, if AMC had a positive beta, then AMC would also go up. Same thing if the stock went down, or if the market went down, AMC would then go down. Now, the thing about beta for AMC is that the 5-year beta is positive. The 1-year beta, I have seen it on Bloomberg terminals, Infront Analytics as well, which is the data source that a lot of hedge funds use, has been negative on the 1-year time frame. Now, I've also seen people do beta calculations now that are showing that the beta is actually positive. So here's the thing. When we think about AMC and their beta in a market correction, yeah, my IG bio is movie theater enthusiast. When you think about a correction and the manipulation that happens with AMC, I don't think it would matter if it had like a negative beta, really. Um, the shorts would still push the stock down. They would still overshort it, flood the market with supply, and push the share price down. Now, that goes into what we were saying before when if they push it down, it's going to get taken over by algorithms eventually when they're just going to switch to buy and start covering because they're going to be like, okay, we averaged down on their position enough where we're not taking as much of a loss. We can cover this position and not get completely blown out. Rogue is probably hanging out with Sean right now. What's for dinner tonight, STV? Well, I did eat Chipotle earlier and I had some chicken salad sandwiches earlier. I don't know. It was a weird day. I like slept in today because I like was really tired. But the weird thing is I was just as tired all day long as if I had woken up early again. So I might as well just wake up early and be productive. SCV's dog just really wants to become an AMC streamer. Yeah, he's screaming over there. When this market hit comes, how much of a percentage of a hit are we talking and what kind of damage are we looking at? Like 2008 close of all credit freeze and accounts frozen. Ryan, I don't know. With the way the market's headed right now and the over leveraging and the derivative exposure and the debt ceiling and the repos and the nobody knows how bad this could get. It's basically it's like it just needs like a reset button. It's like the Fed has just overcooked everything and it needs to have a healthy pullback so that these valuations can stay afloat. Now, we don't know how bad it's going to be, but with everybody over leveraged right now, a semi bad correction could turn into something really bad really quickly. I want to see your dog. I pulled him up on the stream a couple of times. Maybe we can do that at some point this week. Show the dog. I don't know. I don't know where he is. Let's see. Speaking of squeeze, I need to pay. Oh boy, CT. Yeah, you should do that. You're going to get in trouble. Let's see. What kind of dog do you have? I have a giant golden doodle that looks like a golden retriever. He's like 100 pounds and he's just, he's a weird dog. He's just like, he'll either really want to hang out with you really badly or he'll just be like, leave me alone for the entire day. There's no in between. Vix, you have a legit swing. Trey needs some help. Nah. Well, here's the thing. Trey and Rogue had like not really played a lot of golf before, I don't think. But at Top Golf, the ball, you can like roll the ball out to you. And whenever they would like roll the ball out, they were crushing it. Is your dog along on AMC? Yeah. Do you think that both AMC and GME will squeeze together, or is the likelihood of only AMC squeezing more likely? So I think that if one happens, it's gonna help out the other one get started. I think that's something that we all need to keep in mind. That if one happens, it's gonna help the other one get started, because we're just gonna see these FOMO rallies start to really take off. Yeah. His name is not Sharp. Let's see. SV not just over leveraged, but everything is tied to collateral to other items. So you can buy Ethereum using Bitcoin as collateral. Yeah. No, I'm just talking about the broad market. That everything is just over leveraged. And it like over the last year, it was an environment that encouraged leverage. It was like you can take out loans at really low rates. We're seeing the stock market start to bounce up. Everybody was making a killing on their positions. And now we're starting to see the effects of the Fed overcooking the market. Now, the other thing is that Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, Citigroup, and Bank of America have all come out and basically suggested that we're in for a correction. And that suggests that they're selling off their positions because if you think there's going to be a market downturn, you're not going to hold your positions and eat that loss. But the other thing that's happened is that they've also come out and upped their price targets on the market, which is weird. It's like, why would you do that? The guy from Morgan Stanley was basically pressured into it by his clients because they're like, you're being too bearish. It's really silly what happened there. He was like, because in this article, he's essentially saying, yeah, the market is still coming down, but I'm upping my S&P 500 price target just because everybody wants me to. And it's like, all right, dude, do what you got to do. But we all know what's going on behind the scenes. In my opinion, these institutions are like selling off their positions and dumping onto retail and make retail the bag holder because retail is continuously supplying these inflows to equities. And they're going to keep doing that until it shows the signs of a really significant downtrend. And after that, they're not going to be buying the dip anymore, and they're going to be selling along with institutions. And that's going to make the correction even worse unless the institutions can get out before everybody and sell on the way up, which I think is kind of where we're at right now. Let's see. Dry for show, putt for dough. Geo, we can go on the golf course and see what happens. All right. Who has CT? I will make more from AMC. 3,500 GME, but 27,000 AMC of today. Haven't bought more GME since it was around $50 per share. CT, there you go. Yeah, CT's a whale. There you go, man. That's a nice, solid, healthy position on AMC. You must have been thrilled on that June run up. And not so thrilled when we came back down almost into the 20s. That was a scene in The Big Short where they were bumping triple B bundles. Yeah. What irons do you use? I have these like Ping S55s. No, I have not been threatened to get sued. Like why? And then I thought I got like challenged to a race. That's really it. But that dude's a complete idiot. Yeah, CT is an OG ape. He is a big silverback diamond-handed ape. This AMC melt-up shows that it is divorced from the market somewhat. Yeah, we did see a little bit of a sell-off in some stuff today in the morning, and AMC was just ripping. But it was also one of those days where a lot of these like meme stocks were ripping as well. Like I don't consider AMC or GameStop a meme stock. Like some of these stocks that really have like not a lot of value that people are pumping, yeah, meme stock. AMC, not that. Fundamental value increasing. We are continuously seeing the short squeeze thesis get even stronger and the actual short thesis get weaker. Of course, the banks have to pretend everything is in order. Otherwise, the retail investors would withdraw their capital ASAP. Ali, 100%. That's exactly what's going on. I'll like the video right after this, but would the dividend be a crypto one, and could AA give the shares directly to retail? It would most likely be crypto. SPY is divorced from reality. Who cares? Do you see that it run today? Yeah. So the SPY is just in its own world. Honestly, the SPY is the new meme stock. Trying to remember. I know it was something from SC and SCV and Mask. Yeah. I think so. I think it was. Yep, I didn't sell my shares during the June run-up. Only took my profits from calls and exercise for more shares. CT, there you go. That is solid. Hit that like button, people. Yeah, if you guys don't mind just hitting the like button, it just helps us out. Let's get this stream to 1,000 likes. That would be pretty cool. What else do we have? Yeah, so for those of you guys who if there's anything that you guys want me to go over again that we've covered, Ortex probably updated again. 18.89. I don't think anything's really changed on Ortex tonight, which is weird. It usually flickers around at night. We did Citadel's 13Fs. The gamma squeeze situation that we have going into this week. We have Renaissance Technology buying. We have this weird situation going on right now with the market where everybody's saying the market's going to go higher, but we're seeing the flow of money do something completely different. Where we see right here with the 10-year treasury that the yield is going down, meaning that a lot of people are bidding up these bonds. So money is flowing from equities into bonds, which is signaling like a safety trade. So they want to find a way to protect their assets, but even these bonds are not going to offer them enough return, which there's like no options to put your money right now except for gold. Now we did see that gold like flash crash type of thing over the last 2 weeks, and that could have been like a fake sell-off in order for these institutions to get into gold sooner. We're continuously going to see inflation keep getting higher, in my opinion, and gold is a good way to preserve your buying value in times of inflation. Now, a lot of people are saying like Bitcoin, crypto could do that too. I disagree. They're most likely going to sell off with the market as well. How many sweaters did I buy when I went back to school shopping? I didn't go back to school shopping. I'm like, I don't want to go to school, guys. I'm going to be miserable taking classes. How many total AMC shares do hedge funds need to buy? Anthony, we don't necessarily know what the number is. So you think large institutions buying AMC could be trouble? No, not at all. I think they're really good for us because the thing is that we've gone over a lot. Is that there's like, I think at the last time that I saw it was 2.16 billion of inflow in terms of dollars into AMC in Q2, and only about 140-150 million dollars worth of sells. That is a big inflow versus outflow. Now, the other thing is that we know that they were buying and holding and didn't sell through this massive run up, which suggests that they think the stock can go a lot higher than 77.26. You are done with school now? No. Nope. I got one more year. They get the best of both worlds. Sort of. They're not making that much money on the interest payments. Even if they are loaning out their shares, they're not making that much money. They have to buy back naked shorts before they can buy back real shares to cover, correct? I mean, they have to buy back everything. So it doesn't necessarily matter if it's a real or a fake share. They just have to buy it back. Let's see. I guess SCV will be watching BTC for the next 10 years while we hold it. I mean, interesting. Ashraf, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really, really appreciate all you guys sending those in. Today's Fed news might have been the catalyst for this bull run. We will remember today, 3 weeks from now. Might go down tomorrow, but bull run has begun. Ashraf, I might have a little bit of a different view on that. I'm not exactly sure what the Fed news was. I still think with the way that the market is right now that we could see a major event in Q4. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But everything is setting up for something to happen. Ashraf, thank you so much for that super. Oh, Trace Cat Titan is in here. What's up, peeps? I missed you guys. Did you guys see AMC today? Oh, yes, we did. Can you see us reaching 40 tomorrow? Yeah, it's possible. It's very possible that we could reach 40. Will it happen? Who knows? SCB, once we squeeze, we make an honest woman of my mother finally. No. Be very, very dishonest. 3 green soldiers on the 1-day chart. There we go. There it is. That would be pretty sick. I know you're not a financial advisor, but if you had $100,000, would you buy AMC shares with it? If all I had to my name was $100,000, I would not YOLO it on AMC. I just want to put that out there. I would only put in enough money that I'm willing to lose. Because there are a lot of variables in this situation. Like, do I think it's going to squeeze? Yeah. Is there a possibility that this gets drawn out for a while, or they find a way to mess with it and slowly, and it doesn't work out? That's also a possibility. But I think that it's going to squeeze. So that's why I put money into it. Because I think that AMC is potentially the highest potential return in the market right now out of anything. just from all of the research that I've done. Oops, I hit a button. All right, let's see. When you go back to school shopping, do people recognize you at Baby Gap? Vegas. No, they don't recognize me at Baby Gap. Kareem says he YOLO'd all of his money. Yeah, I'm wildin'. Yeah, maybe I would be all in. I mean, if you're gonna go all in, go for it. If you want to do that, per me, yeah. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Niraj says he's betting his life savings. Oh boy, Niraj is always incredibly bullish about the next day. Wow, you don't sound confident. You didn't listen to what I said. I specifically said, I think it's going to squeeze. But I also think there's a possibility that it gets drawn out for a while. Like, you have to be prepared for everything. Like, you don't want to just go in just all like, oh, yeah, we're going to make a bunch of money tomorrow. It's like, that's not how it works. It could get drawn out. I personally think it's going to squeeze. Do I know when? No. Do I know how high it's going to go? Also, no. Ashraf, thank you so much for the super. They signaled inflation tapering and repo asset to end. Ooh, it was all over the news this morning, my friend. Just an opinion. Interesting. I'll take a deeper look into that. We'll see what happens. I think we did see some upgrades. We could definitely see the market continue to go up in the short term. But I think we're really going to see something like what's going to happen in Q4. When you go to AMC tomorrow, please get a novelty cup and put it in the china cabinet behind you for all the apes. Yeah, I definitely got to do that. SCV is too wrinkly brain for you, bro. No. Pam is bullish. I would expect Pam to be bullish with all of with how long she's been holding these shares. Oh, thank you guys for getting 1,000 likes on this video. That's really cool. I'm treating it like a lotto ticket. Interesting. I agree. I buy a few every week, but I need my play money. There you go. SCV, I also YOLO'd my cat 10D savings onto AMC. Go big or go broke. There you go. Moo says I'm almost all in. I wish I bought more in March, but didn't have the cash flow then. Moo, me too. Tommy says I have less than 800 shares. I'm small potatoes. Tommy, you matter just as much to this cause and situation as the people who have 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 shares. Everybody matters. That's what's so cool about this. You really don't sound convicted. I got over 30K invested in AMC. Do you think I would be here at 8:52 on a Monday night talking to you guys about AMC, making videos every day, going on streams, talking about this situation if I didn't think it was going to squeeze? That would just be stupid. I think this is going to be it is honestly probably going to be a once in a lifetime play. That's why I'm in it. But I'm not going to come out and say that there's not always a possibility for something else to happen. Just saying. I think it's going to squeeze. How many times am I going to have to say that now? I think it's going to squeeze. Let's see. Yeah, CT is a real whale over here. I got in at 12, only 10 shares, but dropped 10K at 33. Ooh, there you go. Don't let these trolls get to you. Ben, I know. I know. Moo says only got 55 shares. Moo, that is more than enough. Juan Martinez, thank you so much for the super. Moas would be a great birthday present this September 19th. Isn't that a Saturday? Or a Sunday? Yeah, that'll be a Sunday. Juan, I know a squeeze for September 19th would be really cool, but the market's closed that day. Okay, now for the real question. Why'd you ban Sean? That's funny. Add another 30 shares today before $35. Juan, there you go. I am very bullish on this stock. Yeah, Alfred misses his girlfriend. Oh, what happened, Alfred? Emotional stability won't wash the dishes. That's funny. Oh, Darkness's birthday is 9/20. My birthday was a giant green candle. Haha, right here. This is my birthday candle right here. Look at this big green candle. So I think right now I have the best birthday candle, unless you were born on June 2nd. Hey, SV, everyone seems to have some kind of prop. What is your prop? Is it the Hedgy tiers? Yeah, it's the Hedgy tiers. That's my prop. Tony, what's your question? When chart? I don't know. Probably after Chipotle. The last the last days on the 2-hour chart um, look like the most stable start of a bull run since the drop from 50 or 60. Or am I wrong? Yeah, definitely. Been adding a share a week since 72. There you go, Ron. We need another one. Another what? Let's bust through 40 and cause a gamma. Ooh, it wouldn't be a bit. It wouldn't be a real big gamma. It would be like a little mini gamma. Because when we're looking at this, it's like, 40s, there's like, that would be like 2.6 million shares if they had to cover all of them. Unless the stock goes way higher than 40, they're not going to have to hedge all of those shares. If we get close to 145, which I think is unlikely unless we really started to squeeze this week, then we would see some big rips. That's why I think that the next price movement up because on any given week, there's a bunch of contracts at that 145. And right now, if we had a 100% move in the stock, we'd be right back to where we were close to the highs in June. So we only need that one day, like we saw back in June, of a really big price run up. Like we started the day around 35, went all the way up to 72. That's a big rip over 100%. And it's very possible that we could do that again. Have another birthday so we can get a big candle. Yeah, we could. SCV, where's the talking cat? Kringle's not here today. October 31st birthday there. There you go. There you go. I sold all my GME on my birthday. My B-Day was January 22nd. Ooh, that was pre-run up, I believe, too. That kind of stinks. Happy birthday tomorrow, STV. Oh, it'd be cool if my birthday was tomorrow. We can get another one of these giant green candles. Let's see. Now get another green candle. Hey, I can't control that. I can't control the price. I can control the information that I give you guys. I can't control the price. If I could, that would probably be bad. And then I would go to jail. And then you guys wouldn't get to come hang out with me anymore. Oh, you guys really want my birthday to be tomorrow, huh? Me too. That would be fun. I just want a nice, affordable, cheap 2018 Honda Accord. I am fancy like that. There you go, Turtle. Gabe Santos, October 26th. Give me my millions. There you go. July 14th. I'm feeling good about October, the later one. There you go, Vegas. Mary, thank you so much for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. STV, how does a retail trader buy gold or coffee? You could probably trade like coffee futures. I don't know. I don't know if you want to buy like coffee in terms of like an investment. You could if you wanted to. But for gold, if you want it in like a stock form, like an ETF, you could buy GLD. GLD is like the gold ETF. It tracks the price of gold. You could also buy physical gold. Like there's a lot of different websites that you can go on to purchase gold, silver, and you're just gonna have to pay. I think you would pay spot price for it. But Mary, thank you so much for that super. And shout out to all of you guys who sent in those supers. You guys are awesome. Vix, who are your favorite? I can't even talk now. Hey Vix, who are your favorite sports teams? Patriots. Yeah, I saw that Tesla accident. That was bad. I was looking for some. Yeah, I saw that come through. Invisible avocado. Yeah, TMI hates the avocados. I'm a big guac fan, so wow, you and Matt have the same birthday tomorrow. Oh, good evening, everyone. Sorry late to the party. Did Citadel release their 13F? Yes, they did. I don't think you're really going to be able to find anything crazy in it unless you're looking at like the net change in total assets held. Um, like with their AMC position, they're not going to tell you if they shorted because they don't have to. I showed you guys that earlier that you don't have to report your short interest. So it's like, yeah, you can look at it if they increase their call or put position. Like people might think that if you're increasing your put position, people might be saying like, yeah, that's them shorting. It's not. It's just them buying insurance on their shares. The main problem that I have with Citadel is the control that they have over the entire market because we don't have a confirmed like notice that says, yeah, they're shorting AMC. Is there a difference between in value between the ETF gold and physical gold? I mean, yeah, like I think like in terms of like the price of gold, it's gonna be different. But yeah, is it just me or could SCB play an awesome young Joker? That would be pretty cool. Are we still meeting in Vegas after the squeeze? 100%. We have a celeb in the house. Rogue, what's up, buddy? How we doing? Yeah, we missed you on here, Rogue. I hope I'm not wrong, but the price seems like it's found its floor. It easily could have. They definitely tried to get it below 30, and every single time it would drop below 30, we'd pop right back up either that day or the next day. So I think it's very difficult for them to get the price of AMC below 30 just from all the retail buying, institutional buying, and how many shares are actually available for them to get their hands on to short now. So it's going to be a lot more difficult for them. When margaritas? Whenever you want. Rogue the Legacy. Make sure you guys go follow Rogue's YouTube channel, Rogue the Legacy, and on Twitter. Everybody needs to let their representative know that we want short interest to be reported. Takes 5 minutes to write a letter. Yeah. I really hope the one thing that I hope comes from this is that one, short interest reporting gets much better. We're already seeing FINRA take steps in 2119 with the synthetic short positions, which I think if that actually goes into effect and they're able to find a way to monitor that, because it's gonna be very hard with like options trading volume. Like you would actually have to hold them accountable for those weird synthetic positions. If they can do that, that's awesome. Because then you can actually see what's going on. You'd be able to get a better insight into the manipulation that's occurring with these stocks. Sean got shorted. SB, will you get an AMC or ape tattoo after the squeeze? Probably not. I'm not a tattoo person. Will I get something on my license plate on a car? Yes. Couldn't Citadel slowly accumulate shares before they cover to help hedge their position? Big win for us still. Matt Kramer, yes. The thing is though, is that nobody has like you can't tell if they're the one shorting. We don't really know. The only way that we're really gonna know if they're shorting is like what happened with Melvin Capital back in January when they're like, yeah, we got blown out by this AMC short position. They'd have to come out and tell you. Let's see. New Ortex update. Uh-oh, did it switch on us? Ooh, it definitely switched a little on us. Short interest 18.84%. Short interest down 1.89% today. Short interest still at 18.84%. That is huge. The last time, where is this? Estimated short interest is percentage of free float in, let's see, right before the run up, the short interest was 17.48. So we're at a higher short interest now than we were at before the June run up. So that does tell us a little something that they're still shorting and they're really on edge right now. Alien ape. There you go. I'm getting an ape tattoo already drawn out. SCV walking into the club after the squeeze, screaming Moas. Be careful with that tattoo or marker on your car. It could make you a target for some people. Oh, you should see what would happen to anybody that would touch my car. Vanguard tweet. Nipol, thank you so much for the super. 450 call spy for Friday. Thoughts? Thanks, bro. What's it at right now? I mean, it's a YOLO. Uh, what? Why is it? What? Why is it showing me previous? Oh, okay, that's why. Sorry, I blanked out for a second. It happens. Uh, that's like a percent. Yeah, I mean, if you want to take the risk, go for it. I do think that we're going to see a little bit of upside in the market in the short term. But I do think that as we overextend ourselves and keep heading higher and getting this larger gap between where we're at and the 50-day moving average, that something's going to have to give, and we will test this 50 again. If we test this 50-day moving average and come below it and then we can't break back above, I think it's game on that we could potentially see it get down to this 200. Now, where is it on the 3-month? Did this adjust? Something happened here. Yeah, that's where it is, right here. So this is what we're looking at. If it comes down to this 50, breaks below it, and then can't get back above, it's going to serve as like a new resistance. We're going to see this moving average start to bend down. And if we see a cross between the 200 and the 50, that's going to signal bearish momentum for where we're at. Like we saw it right here. Cross. It'll probably lag. Like we'll see this start to go before a little, like maybe a little after we start the correction. But again, if we go below this moving average and then can't get back above, I think it's game on to see a test of that 200 because we haven't touched it in, what do you call it? 2021. I don't want a Lambo. I want a 71 Chevelle 350. There you go. I love car shows. Hella bliss. Me too. If you're ever in Connecticut, I'll take you to some crazy car shows. There's 2 of them that are nuts. Let's see. That's all I need Ortex for. Shorts still have not covered. 100%. Shorts have not covered. Yeah, everybody gets interested in the cars. Let's see if Ortex flipped around again. Yeah, so the borrowed shares actually went up. That's what happened. I think the return shares may have flickered up, but the borrowed shares, I think, went up a little bit in this after hours update. Oh, the cost to borrow max switched too. That's another thing. The cost to borrow max was like 14, I think it was earlier. If you rewind the stream a little bit, you could see that the cost of borrow was a little bit higher. And that was reflective of the amount of, like, you couldn't get your hands on shares today to short, especially from interactive brokers. But again, that's only one broker. Ortex gives us a little bit of a better picture of the cost to borrow. But it just fell pretty significantly. I don't know how it can be negative. Like, you're not going to pay somebody to take shares on loan. I feel like STV is going to be in the new season of Stranger Things. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. STV needs a SVT Mustang. That would be cool. Maybe I'll just get like STV on the license plate. I have a Rolex with a blue thermal on my left wrist. Ooh, fuzzy. There you go. Did you use some of that 44,000% gain on your Rolex? Do you see the new Lamborghini Countach? Yeah, I did. I don't like it. It looks weird in the front. It's like they tried to make it modern. Like the whole, like, from the beginning of the windshield back is like modern, but then the front is just like old. It kind of looks like they took a Huracan and they just modified it. I'm not a too big of a fan. And I feel like at this point, you guys know where I stand on Lambos. It's like, you can't, like, you're gonna look pretty flagrant. Depending, like, if you're too young, they're gonna be like, oh, this kid's an idiot. And if you're too old, you're gonna be like, what's going on with this dude? Let's see. Kenny G is buying a used bike after the MOS. Guys, honestly, he's going to be fine. That's the thing. He has so much money set aside, unless he's facing like significant legal action, which is possible, then he's going to be fine. That's the one thing that I don't think people understand. Like, most likely, the people that are going to get in trouble for this are going to be like the people that facilitated the overshorting. It may not be the hedge funds that took the shorts because they weren't the ones that like allowed it to happen. They were the ones manipulating. So they might get fines. They might get hit with stuff. And there could be more regulations that are going to make this a lot harder for them to do in the future, which we've already seen happen. But you got to think about who the real culprits of this situation are and who let it happen. It's the large prime brokerage operations and the people that are lending out these shares. That's why we see the failure to deliver so high, because they're the ones that have let it happen. Riptide Redemption, thank you so much for the super. After the MOAS, I'll start a nonprofit for combat veterans. Forget the flashy cards. There you go. That's a really good thing to do. Let's see. Don't forget he pays his ex-wife. Oh, yeah. So the government? Nah, the government didn't really let this happen. Avocados. Let's see. How about the new tournament? Yeah, I haven't looked at that. Why are all Kenny G's just rich and bad? I mean, there's only one really bad one, right? Is there another bad one? I'm almost 50. I don't type much. This experience will make your confidence socially sky high. You have your own brain. Thanks, homeboy. I'm proud of you. Tommy, thank you, man. Short interest is increasing, and so is the price. The only thing they're able to do now is suppress breakouts at resistance. Paulie, I agree. And they're trying to figure out a way to stay in business. That's the main thing I think they're really trying to do at this point. It's them trying to find a way to not go under, because I've said this before. If they lose their clients a bunch of money and they have to close their fund, no matter if it's a big fund, a small fund, if they want to open up another spot, maybe 1 or 2 years down the road, it's not going to happen, because they're going to have to go and do a cap raise, and they're going to be like, oh, what is your track record? And they'll be like, oh, I lost billions of dollars to kids on the internet shorting movie theater and video game stocks. They're going to be like, yeah, no. But then the hedge fund's going to be like, oh, the hedge fund manager's going to be like, oh, I promise I won't do it again. And they're going to be like, yes, sorry, dude, no. You can't make that big of a mistake, really, and come back from it. Yeah, self-preservation mode for sure. Didn't KG say every day we figure out how to live another day? I don't know. Got you on the post MOAS Lambo. Do you like Jeremy? Yeah, I'm not buying a Lambo. Do we only have Ortex with its T+2 reporting to get an idea of when our squeeze has hit its max? Greg, pretty much. But Ortex is not going to tell us, because one, the short interest is probably going to shoot down and then shoot right back up. Because we'll see that delay of all of these shares getting returned, but then there's going to be a lot of new shorts coming in. So if there's a lot of new shorts coming in, the utilization is still going to be very high, and the short interest is still going to be pretty high until the stock comes back down. Like, honestly, there could be 2 squeezes. Here's why. Because the stock is going to rip up for the first squeeze. Shorts are going to cover. New shorts are going to come in at the top when the stock ends up coming back down. But then those shorts are going to have to cover at some point again, which could provide for more buying volume. So there could be another squeeze that is just less aggressive. It could be similar aggressive. That's kind of what we've seen with overstock. It's like it rips up, comes back down, waits for a while, rips back up, comes down. Like, that could be AMC's trajectory after the first squeeze. There could be this cycle of like mini squeezes that start to happen. And honestly, that's good for the company if they want to raise money. Like, they're going to get used to that type of price action happening. And if they have shares that they can offer, they're going to be in such a good spot fundamentally if they can raise a bunch of money after the first big MOAS. Does that make sense to you guys? So first squeeze, we go to these crazy numbers. There's going to be a lot of shorts coming in at those high levels. Now it comes back down because the buying volume dries up after all of these shorts have covered, and the shorts keep coming in. There's not going to be a lot of buying, and then the stock just tanks after the squeeze, remember. But then those shorts are eventually going to have to cover at the lower levels that we get down to, and then they provide the buying volume again, and it comes back up. What if all the institutions bought yesterday and dumped tomorrow? Well, they didn't. SB, listening to you with my headphones on, I can hear your phone vibrate when you get a text. Tell your girl you're busy. It's not. It's Twitter. It's the mods talking. Sorry about that. It's Twitter. I have my notifications on sometimes, and it just buzzes all over the place. People just send me messages, and my phone just goes bzz, 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 bzz. Can we resurrect Toys R Us? We could, honestly. Somebody could honestly start their own Toys R Us. I think there are some Toys R Us kicking around in Canada. Why do you not your T's like when you say button? Where's that accent from? When I first started YouTube, people used to make fun of the way I say button all the time. Well, I don't say button weird. Leave me alone. Oh no, you guys are good. You guys can. I just moved my phone off my desk. Yeah, we could definitely bring Toys R Us back. Did you see Kramer today saying he doesn't even know anyone at Citadel? What is up with him? He's lying. He definitely does. I think, and he just knows how things work. Like he knows. And what the other thing that you have to think about is that when these people come out and make these comments about AMC in a negative light, what they know is going to happen, especially on Twitter, is that everybody's going to come and comment on their thing. And they're going to get a lot of followers, and they're going to get a lot of engagement on their tweets. If they post an article, they know they're going to be able to make some money off of the clicks that they're getting. They know what they're doing. In my opinion, they have more to gain by coming out bullish with bullish news on AMC and actually report what's going on. And not just spread this BS that we've proven false so many times. Yeah, Toys R Us is still in Canada. Say button again, STV. Button. That's the first time I've like had people come for me for that in a while. Oh, guess what, guys? Sean is back. See, I didn't ban him. So your joke is now over. Haha. That's not his phone that you hear. Uh-oh. Yeah. Also, would you guys want to do a meetup at some point? Who's in the Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York area? We could do a meetup at some point. I feel like that would be fun to do. And I would just tell you guys on the stream that we're doing it then. So it doesn't get like blasted out. So like every random people show up, because that's what I would be weirded out about. But like you guys, it would be cool. So like who would be down to do a meetup one weekend somewhere in the Connecticut area? Ooh, Fuzzy's down. I think Ben Levine is also in there. Meetup. There we go. Ohio, Buffalo. That's far. Manhattan in the house. Woohoo. There you go, Ashraf. Boise, Idaho. Fuzzy. That's far. I can be. Just tell me when. I've been to Connecticut, says Pam. Let's see. Sean needs more booze. Me too. Oh, what's up, Becky? Ooh, we got a bloop. Oh, special guest, everybody. We have Road the Legacy. What's going on, bud?
What's up, Rosie?
Not much.
I just wanted to pop in and say what's up.
Yeah, how's your night going?
It's going. I'm probably about to hop on freaking Call of Duty.
There you go.
Yeah, I went frisbee golfing this morning, and then just hung out with my brother and our friend.
Oh, that's fun. How was the birthday party?
Oh, it was good. It was good. They got a bunch of toys, bunch of unnecessary toys because they already have a lot as it is. But I'm actually what's it called? I'm going to Colorado at the end of this week with my brother.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast with my brother and our friend. Yeah,
there you go.
We're going to see our other brother that lives there. So that'll be good.
SV, you got enough couches for all of us? I mean, in my apartment, I'm gonna have 0 couches. So
Got him. Just bring a sleeping bag.
I'm gonna have the most like minimalist apartment ever. I'm gonna have like a bed, my desk, my kitchen, and maybe like something else. It's just too much
Boom.
stuff to have. Yeah, we can definitely set up a meetup this fall. I will walk to Wall Street the day of the squeeze and hand Kleenex tissues, and I will take pictures. Ashraf, that's funny. Let's see. Rogue's camera off. He has the real Sean duct tape behind him. Sean's in the chat, guys. I told you I didn't ban him. Also, Sean,
Sean?
probably not going to Naples. Maybe for like 3 days. Then I gotta meet a couple of people down there. Like
Bro,
you.
I think
Jen-
they're talking about the other Sean. The one that's been bashing. I think he's part of Motley Fool.
Oh no. People were saying I banned Sean Zane in the chat earlier because he wasn't in here.
Oh, okay.
Let
What?
me see
Screw that
here.
guy too. No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
Darkness says he'll 1v1 you and you'll die every time.
that's a negative.
No, Sean. No. Darkness would lose. Nice Rogue. I live in Colorado. The air has been a bit smoky because of all the fires. Oh, that's a synthetic Sean. I hope not. I went 3 years without a couch. Don't feel bad. Oh, I don't feel bad. I just don't want one. I won't use it.
Right.
Hope you have a
As
big
long as
enough
you got a
bed
bed.
for us, SCV. Yeah, Geo. About that.
Yeah. After the squeeze? Yeah.
No, I'll do a meetup. SCV has synthetic couches. Yeah. I went through it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Yeah. All guys, it is 9 minutes till power half hour, too.
Oh, snap.
Uh-oh. You know who's probably just going to pop in for power half hour to cause trouble? TMI.
You already know. You already know.
There is something on Reddit about SCV and TMI mods. What? Jack Kim, send me that. Nobody should be bashing my mods. SCV, you are an awesome asset for this community. Thank you, Danny. You need the couch for TMI? No, TMI is just going to pick me up and we're going to go all over the country. We're going to have a good time.
100%.
We're going to be driving. We're going to be doing van life.
It's going to be post-squeeze tour.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan, yeah, we were going to do power half hour, but we were kind of cranking on AMC info. We'll still mix it in, but we've been this is a longer stream, so I didn't want to just like make people want to leave. Let's see. Reddit is Fudland. I got puts on STV's couch. Yeah, me too. It's synthetic. You can naked short my couch because it doesn't exist.
Boom.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
You called it?
I knew it.
Are we doing the bubbles?
Hello.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Did you hear what I said like 30 seconds ago?
No.
I said, you know who's about to come in here because it's almost power half hour and cause trouble?
Rogue.
TMI.
No, it's you.
Do you know what time it is? Tell me, do you know? What is
It's
popping, people?
always you, bro. What do you mean?
It's always
Not
you,
much.
man.
We were just chilling, about to have some power half hour.
All right. I like it. I like it.
STV, what is happening on the 26th with the MSCI 450 index and then September 1st with the DTCC or NSCC? Will these form a catalyst to reduce synthetics or put pressure on Citadel to trade more legitimately? Well, first, we don't necessarily know if Citadel's the one shorting AMC. The MSCI thing, I've heard rumors that they have to buy 5% of AMC. I have not seen that confirmed, though. That's just like a post on Reddit. The DTCC thing on September 1st is more of, it just accelerates the liquidity drain that we kind of already have figured is happening.
Yeah, I've also seen it on Twitter. Some sort of analyst posted that we should look forward to some sort of volatility because 5% of the float needs to be purchased in order to represent.
Yeah. Ooh, TMI,
AMC.
you know what else we have? This tweet. CNBC Pro says a correction could start after options expire on the 20th.
What do you mean a
Of
correction in
course
the
they
market?
say that.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably wrong, but
Wait, sorry.
they're wrong
Out of
about
context.
basically everything.
But out of context, how what?
It's just a tweet. Like it's literally just an FX Hedge tweet, like from CNBC Pro.
That's interesting. Because
Yeah.
it's after August 20th, September 1st.
Mhm. It's like, oh, you guys are very smart. You read some stuff.
I'm telling you right now, mainstream media is basically on Reddit now. They're basically jumping in all the same forums that we used to be in every day.
It's just the same stuff that we say.
Yeah, except for they say it with suits on.
What's up?
They just say it with suits on.
Yeah.
It's like if I say it with a suit on, then I'm smart money. If I say it with a hoodie on, then I'm dumb money.
Yeah.
Like,
if you're a
I'm
retail
wearing a hoodie.
investor investing in AMC, you're stupid. But if you're the most successful hedge fund of all time investing in AMC, then you're cool.
Exactly.
I'll probably tweet that out tomorrow.
The way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
I see your birthday the 23rd.
Let's see.
24th.
Trey's hairball says, I'm only here to listen to TMI say cuss words.
Whoa. Whoa. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what up?
Hey, did someone had a little haircut just now?
I got a little haircut.
What happened?
I think someone had a little haircut.
Who?
I did. I got a little haircut.
Did Rogue turn his camera on for a second?
Just for a split second.
Gave us a little what's it called? A little OnlyFans sneak peek.
Just a little glimpse. No, so here's the story behind this. Oh, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and give myself my haircut.
No.
I tried. All right. I took someone's advice and I tried. I messed it up. I got it fixed, but I had to go really short. And before that, I shaved my beard and my mustache because my wife didn't like it. So I'm waiting for it all to grow back.
This is what I'll say. You're on kid number 3, right?
Yep.
So
There's so many of them.
You only get 2 more after this. Like I want to take a poll.
Hold on.
Can I take a poll, please? Do we think that there are more synthetics out there for AMC, or do you think that there are more kids running around Rogue's house? I just want to take a poll with people in the live chat to see which one. I think there could potentially be. I think there could potentially be more kids. No, wait. So how does she like the new look?
How do I like the new look?
No, how does she like the one that actually that matters in this?
The boss.
Oh yeah, the one that actually matters.
Yeah.
Not
the other ones that don't matter.
Right. She likes the.
Is she beside you? Is she beside you right now?
No. But she likes it.
You serious?
No, I'm being serious.
All right, cool. We can't get in
She
trouble
likes
with
it.
anything crazy.
I don't like it because I like when my hair is longer. Because whenever it's like super short, it just from like, I'm already out of the days. Like basically, when I have it this short, it just reminds me of back in boot camp. I've never had this short since then.
Got you.
So I'm just never gonna cut my hair again.
Never going back.
Yeah.
Fuzzy says life hack that I will share for my days in the Air Force: learn to cut your own hair and save all those tendies for what you like. Thank you for the super, Fuzzy.
See that was what I was going for, But then the razor had a mind of its own.
Oh no.
So.
Oh no.
I think this question's coming in more for TMI because you're gonna have to deal with this for sure.
What's that?
Can you imagine your stream the day of the squeeze and people are asking whether to sell or hold? It will be very enjoyable but awkward.
Nope. No, I have a plan for that.
What's your plan?
So this is the thing. I am. I can't even say it. Actually, I can't even say it. Just put it this way: there's going to be a lot more music being played during those days than there are than on the way up.
Okay.
I said today that there's gonna be a lot more music. Like I'm not gonna be monetizing a lot of those videos. Those videos aren't gonna be monetized. I'm not gonna be taking supers. Like those are gonna be like SEC's watching days. So those days are just gonna be like communicating, talking about technicals, talking about giving people updates on everything that's happening, playing music. Those videos will not be able to get replayed. Like those are gonna be like tune in and see it. If you don't see it when you're not watching, you're not going to see it again. Because I had to have a discussion to figure out, okay, like how much trouble am I going to be in when this actually happens?
Well, if you don't tell people to do anything, you're fine.
Exactly. But the only thing I can do is give people like factual updates.
Yeah. That's kind of what we do anyway.
Yeah, but less. Because I'm kind of like, even today I was kind of like, this is how I would day trade, and then kind of like laid out a map to like potentially buy and sell calls. You know what I mean? But like I wouldn't even be able to do that.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. But it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun because people will be making a ton of money.
Oh yeah.
All right, look at this baby face killer over here.
Rogue's in a dark room with a hat and glasses
Yeah,
on.
he's trying to break it out slowly. Oh, we can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Trey says on Twitter when he sells doesn't seem to. Oh, he doesn't say it when. He says it like after. TMI signal sells by mass coming up. I was thinking of doing like some sort of like certain songs mean certain things, but no, that would just be too much. Oh, gang.
Yeah, not bad.
I just said it out loud. Anyways, that's dope. That's so sick.
Is that TMI without the mask? Yeah.
What is TMI without the mask?
Yeah, the guy with the hat, glasses, and the haircut.
That is me. This chart looks like it is ready to freaking go.
Isn't this called something right here? It's like the three
soldiers.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm liking it.
It's like it's almost setting up for, I think if we break 30, what is it? If we break 38, what is it? 38, 20 something?
Yep. No, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. We can break above there.
It's that top of the red candle.
There's also more open interest on the $37 strike.
Well, so this is what I'm thinking. Well, actually, no, you kind of said it today in the live stream that if we hit 40, because all the calls are in the money all the way up there, if we hit 40 at some point in time this week, we're gonna get everything they have all at the same time. And it's gonna be the combination of FOMO, delta hedging, and short. It's gonna be a massive amount of volume at the same time. Because heading into September, it'll be, if we get back to that 50-60 zone, heading into September, it'll be tough for them to get us back down.
Yeah. Dude, I'm going to be in class and then things are going to start to pop off and I'm just going to be like, yeah, I got to go. Sorry. Goodbye.
Yeah. Dude, just put on your headphones and just say, I'm not here. Like, I'm here, but I'm not here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even
got to
walk
come to
across
an
campus
agreement
right
with
now.
these teachers and be like, listen.
I'm going to be rich.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, shit.
Nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask.
The camouflage
imposter. That is funny.
Oh,
TMI, your shoe is united? What?
I thought it said United. I was like, what? Got my mom and little brother to buy in. My whole family are apes now. There you go, White.
Look at that. Look at that. 42 pop off.
Imagine STV stands up and screaming woohoo in the middle of class. Oh, dude. I would go nuts.
I think you'd be doing.
If I hit that sell button and it's just like a boatload of money and I'm in class, I'm just gonna walk out and be like, "Where are you going?" I'm gonna be like, "To Miami."
I knew it. I knew it. I'm going to Miami. Psh. Doom, 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 doom. Oh man, you just start playing music on your laptop and walk out your home in boombox.
Yeah. I would play Boom Boom Candles or Lamp On Lamp Off.
Oh, that's definitely going down.
Lamp off.
Do you quit school when MOAS happens? I mean, it depends on how much money I make. I would probably stay there and not go to class.
Just party. Just keep repeating your last year. It's like, yeah, I can afford to do this about 100 more times.
Exactly. I'll just be a student.
Like this life, yeah, that life
Dude,
cannot
what
be
if
bad.
I just saw something funny? It was like, what if you were to wear a synthetic mask and it's just like a clear mask?
Oh,
Someone-
plastic bag.
That would be funny. Oh my. R. Mullen, thank you so much for that really big super chat, man. Thank you. STV, just wanted to thank you for your continued knowledge. The moral support you, Rogan, TMI helps me keep it in check. Thanks again. R. Mullen, thank you, man.
Dude, yeah, Armon, you also gave me a very nice super today, but the message was also nice. I do appreciate that. I can't remember exactly what. Actually, no, I pretty much can remember what it says, but I'm not gonna embarrass the guy. It was nice though. Appreciate it.
Yeah, R. Mullen, thank you so much, man.
It would be extremely pleasurable.
Somebody
But-
says felt cute might bankrupt some hedge funds.
Yeah, if I show my face tattoos, it's too easy
Yeah,
identifiable. Sorry,
no face, no case.
that's it.
Lamp on.
Label.
You know how awkward it is to meet somebody and they tell you like, let's go home, and then as we're going home, they're like, put the mask back on. It's really weird.
You've had that happen to you? That would be TMI if he was just like hanging out with fans. They'd be like, "Can you please put the mask back on?"
It'd be so weird. It'd be like great branding. Also, how ugly do you have to be for someone to tell you to put the mask back on? It's just like
Probably pretty ugly.
enough is enough. We've seen enough. Put it back. Put it back on.
Put it back on. What are you doing?
No, that's nice. That's really nice. Just do me a favor and just cover it up.
Is there a way to confirm if what do you call it? Renaissance increased their position to 1.8 million from 500K? Yeah, that's probably taken directly from one of their 13Fs that they released.
Did you see all the institutional buyers today?
Dude, it's like it's above I think 2.16 billion dollars worth of AMC.
Bro, it's a lot.
I've been trying to tell people. I was trying to tell them in that video that I posted on Sunday. I was like, guys, we did all the research. We should be. And I said this before, and I didn't realize. People are always like, well, what if institutions sell? And I was just thinking, I was like, do you guys know
They're
how
not
much
gonna.
research? Yeah, you guys know how much research they did before they got into the stock? Probably about 25% as much as we have. Like, we have enough.
Mm-hmm.
We have enough. We tune into this day. They have like 15 different, stocks that they check on a daily basis. We're checking on 2. Like we did over and above enough research to know that we have a good position. We're in it at the right time. We can be making a lot of money. That's it.
Yeah, and it's like they've held from sub 10 to 77. Why would they sell now? That would be stupid of them, and they're not stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt, thank you so much for the super. Would this be a good time to go long on the VIX? It could be, but most likely you're going to need like some really strong confirmation unless you're day trading it. Like you need something to come out that from the Fed, from the debt ceiling situation that is basically like, okay, game on. Go for it on the puts and the VIX calls. But that hasn't really happened yet. We've just seen things start to work towards that, if that makes sense. TMI won't turn the camera on because he doesn't feel like wearing a mask, I bet.
No, I don't feel like wearing anything. That's why I haven't turned the camera on.
Ah.
Call myself the nude investor.
That's going to be your OnlyFans. What if they just read Reddit and said, makes sense, YOLO? I mean, I think that's what a lot of people did, honestly. They were just like reading Reddit stuff and they're like, oh, yeah, that checks out. And then I'm going to buy AMC. And then they
That's
did more
it.
research. They're like, oh, that was BS, but this is true. And then it was like 60K in match stream the day of 72. Oh, I think I've seen it higher than that.
Oh, I've seen it above 70K.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. Shout out to the mods in that situation because that must be impossible, even with slow mode.
That's gonna be a bit nuts. That's gonna be, yeah. I guess you do need to prepare for that. Because even the pre-market, like the pre-market, I think I've seen anywhere from like less than 100 to over 4,000 so far, and we haven't gone on like a run yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those
So that
streams are
could
going to be ripping.
It's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. And then Keenan's also not gonna be. Anyways, we'll talk about it later. That'll be fun.
Oh,
We're gonna try to get short space to take the semester off. Oh.
There we go.
Ashraf says, I work in an investment firm. How awkward will it be for me to walk out of work with a big smile while they're all freaking out? Dude, if you make a smarter trade than them, then it would be their fault for not, like, I'm guessing that you guys have talked about it before, and it's going to make it almost that much better when they're like, no, you're an idiot. And then you just cash out. But thank you so much for that super.
Yeah, you know what? You should look at that song Plug Walk and then play that song when you walk out. That's the song you should definitely play when you walk out.
Let's see. Oh, Riptide, have a nice night, man. Can I ask a question about covered calls? Is it better to sell a covered call when the price of the stock is high or low? Selling a covered call is always better when the stock is trading above your average price.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. And then it's also good when implied volatility is high.
Yeah. That's a win-win.
Yeah. When you're like filthy rich, you can make a boatload of just money selling cash secured puts and covered calls. It's just creating your own weekly dividend.
Mm-hmm.
The best to do it on is the SPY. 3 expirations. You just have to sell a lot of options. Do you think AMC and GameStop MOS together? If AMC goes first, I'm putting a lot of my AMC cat tendies to GME, getting a double squeeze.
That's gonna be tough, buddy.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be like basically the same time.
Yeah, look at the other charts at the same time. Last time that they squeezed in January, they didn't squeeze. Last time we had a run up in January, and you'll see that it's tough. Very tough.
Enrique says, I've been trying to cancel a Robinhood limit order for Doge for the last hour and it will not let me. Please help. What do I do? Robinhood is holding $500 till when? Enrique, if you're trying to sell or buy, you should just be able to move your limit. And you just move your limit order, or you can just probably click on the actual order and hit cancel. I'm not really sure. I don't use Robinhood.
Contact support ASAP.
Yeah. Let's see. He had over 80,000 people in his stream. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's just banana numbers right there.
Literally.
You're in banana land.
And it's like, it's, yeah. And that wasn't even the squeeze.
No.
That's the thing. It's like, we saw potentially 25, maybe 20%, 20, 25%. No, you know what? 20 to 33% of the people that will be participating in the next squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
If when we get to 3 digits, this is gonna be unreal.
What's Trey doing in the dark? I don't know, Trey. What are you doing in the dark?
That's hilarious.
Those are good.
Slapping that ass. Slapping that ass, slapping the
Did you guys
bitch.
see what Citadel did today? Or not
13F?
today, but did you see what the 13F shows
What did it
for
show?
No,
like
what to do?
We were
June?
looking through it, but there's just so much stuff in there. I think
So
they
it
increased their put
was
and call positions and decreased the
yes.
share amount.
So they increased their puts from 5.6 million to 8.4 million. Let me see if they got anything else.
And they increase their call. Like they're gonna write it up and write it down.
Yeah, I like everybody was like asking about it earlier, and I was like, one, you're not gonna see anything crazy. Like unless it was like sell, 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 then it would be like, they're preparing for something. But there's so many positions in there that it's gonna be very hard to get like a decent understanding of what they're doing. And you're never gonna see their short position because they don't have to report it, even if
Right.
they are the ones that are wildly over leveraged on a AMC short.
Mm-hmm.
They upped their call from 4.1 million to 5.9 million.
Yeah.
And they decreased the position in AMC. They had 724,000. Now they only have 136,000.
Is it possible for shorts to cover after hours? Nope. Well, they could start covering, but there's not going to be enough volume to fully cover.
Let me see. There's one more thing I wanted to show. Let's see. Adam investors, no. Wells Fargo and Company. No, I'll wait. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, dude, there's so many different positions in there. It's going to be impossible. There's like hundreds.
Yeah, it's tough.
But we do have institutions buying AMC at a crazy high rate, which is awesome.
Right.
SCV, what is the monthly OPEX? Like, are you talking about like OPEC oil or like that sounds like a merger between like Ortex and OPEC?
He might be talking about. I don't know.
What's
actually.
up?
I don't know. I was thinking of what he meant, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't
Maybe
know.
daily IV.
Maybe like IV percentile. AMC's IV percentile is probably pretty low now. Based on TA, is tomorrow going to be bullish again? Have calls for 50 and 60 September monthlies. I think the technicals are showing little move up, right? TMI?
Yeah, I'm feeling bullish with tomorrow. So the downside is a lot lesser than the upside. Like I have it at like 65, 35 that is bullish.
Yeah, like percentages.
Yeah, like we can pretty much bounce off of support, and like today we bounced way below support to kick off the day, and then we just shot the flip up. Like it was like look at the wick on the day candle. Is this the one day you have on?
Yeah.
That wick was basically like the first 15 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe the
the
first
top.
half an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the bottom. When we shot red the first part of the day.
Oh,
that
yeah,
wick.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, like we shot below support, and then we just like shot the hell up. So when you see that much buying pressure, it's like, hold on a second. We're seeing that much buying pressure from above 30. We're used to seeing that from way below 30. So now I'm thinking, okay, we got some space to run.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot less open interest on the put side than there is on the call side near the money. So even if we went down a little bit, we wouldn't see that much craziness, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. It's because institutions are also buying below us now. Once institutions start buying below us, they don't want to go there.
In the
If
dark
I'm a
pool?
hedge fund, no, if I'm shorting the stock, right? It's like because I think I can't remember who was asking this question, but if I'm realizing now as somebody who's currently short on the stock that if I short the stock below $30, another financial institution is buying in. I don't want shares in their hands. I'd rather shares be in retail hands. I can screw retail out of their money much easier than I can screw another institution.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can play with their emotions, you know what I mean? And like move the stock up and down, make them think like they're making a lot of money, and then get them out of the stock. If institutions set a limit, they're just not going to sell until they get that limit. Period.
Exactly.
They have 15,000 of the stocks to worry about. They're not worried. Like when it hits, it hits. They're good to wait for 2 years.
Yep.
So it's like for me, it's just like if people are thinking that, oh, why didn't we see them like short us the hell out anymore? It's like, well, now we have like backup. Like you have troops. Like we're calling for backup. They're here now.
It was like an unexpected like boom of just buys that we saw.
Yeah, it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Tyler Gallant, thank you so much for the super. Would after hours cover start maybe be better? Low volume would start the floor ripping without paper handing interfering the rip. That's a decent idea because a lot of the time the institutions are the ones making those trades in the after hours.
It could happen, but the only thing is this: the volume isn't quite there, right? So, other institutions would have to also be willing to sell in the after hours. Like it would. Yes, it could and it will happen, but it'll only be a very tiny percentage of shares that are covered.
Gotcha.
Because like think about it, if you don't want to sell till it's like 4 figures or 5 figures, if you see it jump up to 3 figures in the after hours, you're still not going to sell. It's just going to be like exciting.
Right.
So it's like only those who would be willing to sell in the 3 figures would actually let it go. So it's like I think a very small percentage of people that would do it.
Yeah, I
the
agree.
cavalry is here, boys.
What happened?
Someone said the cavalry is here.
The cavalry, yeah. Let's see. Didn't GME's run up start in pre-market? I mean, most likely it would. Like we would see the move start in pre-market or after hours. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be starting in pre-market, but who knows?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. Well, this is what guys. This is what you guys have to look forward to. Okay, you have to look forward to this. It's gonna be one day for the after hours where I'm just gonna be chilling on the after hours, and it's gonna start ripping, and then be like, okay, well this is interesting, and then be like, hey, Short the Vix, you getting ready to go live soon? He's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go live early like he did today, and then you're just gonna watch the stock run up after hours on late night Vix with Short the Vix, and then we're gonna break down what the game plan is for tomorrow, and then the next morning we'll be on Good Morning Ape Nation, and we
Then
watch it run
TMI's
up,
back on.
and then we'll just be just a huge circle of everyone making money for a long period of time, having a good time.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be
Today was a
calling
weird
sick to
day. I
work.
had a video ready to go, and then I was like, because there was not a lot happening today. We just went over like a lot of the same stuff that we went over in the stream, but it was like there was a lot of stuff going on after hours. Squeeze is going to be crazy. Oh, 100%. TMI's avocado. I'm not ignoring you.
Hey, check out the chat. I might want to buy 200 more this week. Hope it's a red day soon. I'm gonna load up. May buy 1,000 shares. Ooh, interesting. Because I'm thinking, what's the worst case? You can't really, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That could be a good one because you just have it there. But it is like time sensitive, so it's like
Oh, dude, just do it tonight.
Yeah.
Because like, even if it's no one, it's just something, right?
Yeah, it is something. Oh, OPEX is options expiration. So what was the question?
So what was it? Yeah, I was trying to figure out.
OPEX chart to assist with trading strategies. Maybe they're using like option sonar to look for like unusual options activity.
Interesting.
Since it took 2 months to get this low, do you think it will take 2 months to get back to where we were at 72, or just one major boom boom candle? I think it's gonna be 2 major boom boom candles, like we saw last time. But the first one could get us to close to the 70 range, and then the next one's gonna be the big boom boom, similar to June.
The big boom boom.
The big
boom boom candles. Yeah, it's gonna be freaking nuts. Hope you guys are ready.
Oh, I'm so excited. I think this fall is going to be really fun.
Oh, yeah.
I consider my AMC holdings a savings account at this point. I think everybody does.
That's the way to do it.
Tyler's going short on the Chicago Cubs. Maybe. Preston, I don't know. SC, are they really able to short After hours? I mean, if they took out shares on loan, then they can sell them in the after hours.
Yeah, there just has to be enough people that are willing to sell during that time. Like I just don't see the volume there for them to really, like, we're talking about when people ask, I would hope there's a run up in the after hours or pre-market because I want people to know that okay, it's time to buy AIM. Like I want the public to be alerted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I can't see it being the after hours because it gives people the whole night and day to get ready. I would see it more being pre-market.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because then it's like people are getting ready to go to work. Hopefully they miss it. Hopefully they don't see alerts. Like people that aren't trading are going to start trading just for this.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a lot of us.
When
Like,
that
Netflix
happens, I
investors.
might make a boom boom in my pants. That was funny. Where is it? Brandon, that was a good one.
Love it. You got to.
I
Do what
think
you
we are
gotta
all
do.
exhausted. The weird thing about today is that I slept in, but I was still the same level of tired that I would have been if I like didn't sleep in. So I'm just gonna keep waking up early because I'll just be the same amount of tired.
Practice makes perfect.
Exactly. I think once it closes over 100, it's game over. It could be. We don't know what the trigger number is for shorts to really start to cover. It could be 100, it could be 500, it could be 1,000. Who knows?
Exactly.
I was thinking that, or I'm really bullish on a margin call on the first, causing a gamma squeeze. No. So those margin calls are for OTC derivatives. So any institution that is really over leveraged in those like weird derivative contracts that they're entering into directly with another counterparty, those are the types of margin calls that we're going to see. It's not like AMC type specific margin calls. It just feeds into the liquidity drain. We're all going to need a vacation after this.
I'll see you in Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas, Miami.
I'm in Miami, trick. Doom, 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 doom. I can already hear the music from now. I want to let you guys know this. I've been hearing the music from Vegas in my head for the last 3 months. Like the bass booming when we're at a pool party in Vegas after we get our attendees. Like I can hear it in my head now. Like doom, 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 doom. Like I can hear it. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Ashraf says they're scared of under 30 and over 39. Yeah. They don't like under 30 because they might switch like they might have like start to decide to cover there, I believe. And then over 40 could just be breakout season. Yep. Antics. Diamond backhand. Thank you so much for the super, man. I appreciate you too. Let's see. TMI, when you going to Vegas? I don't know. When are we going to go to Vegas, buddy?
Honestly, what time is it?
We got 3 minutes. When are we going to Vegas, TMI?
This is borderline. This is some borderline. I plead the fifth.
I'm not gonna say it either.
Moon soon, people. Moon soon.
Too soon. That's a fresh mood.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be
good. Last time I went to Vegas was for a pool tournament. I didn't even get to enjoy it. Rogue and you would make a good matchup. New AP here, trying to buy and hold as much as I can. Y'all think there are synthetics? And if there are synthetics, those need to be covered too, right? So then synthetic shares, yeah, Hugo. If like a share is a share. Don't make it weird, guys. It's power half hour with me, TMI, and Rogue. Like that's how it works. It just gets weird.
Who doesn't want it to get weird?
Jarrell.
Hey, Jarrell, they're gonna get real weird. but now we get real weird while saying your name.
I'm just chilling here with my my
Go ahead.
logo. That's what I'm doing.
Rogue's just chilling.
What are you doing over there, Rogue? All
Bro,
quiet over there by yourself.
I'm just a label.
I'm just a label.
I'm just a label. It says Rogue right there.
Oh my days!
Did you see that one?
Oh my god! Oh my! Oh, someone woke up on the right side of the bed this morning.
That is awesome.
Was it to you?
Maybe just in
No,
general.
hold on. I'll copy and paste it. That is a high quality live chat.
I think that's what it ends on.
It is 10. That was hilarious. All right, guys. So that was a long stream. Thank you to everybody that came out, hung out with us for a extended period of time tonight. We will be back tomorrow with video and live stream, back to a more normal schedule that we have around here. We've got TMI, the Masked Investor.
What up? What up?
On YouTube, masked_ on Twitter and Instagram. We got Rogue the Legacy over here on
Boom.
YouTube and Twitter. And then we got me. If you guys want to subscribe, I would like that very much. I also have my Instagram pinned in the top too. If you guys want to go follow over there, that's like our new platform that we're trying to grow.
I forgot to do that.
I'll follow you guys back right now. TMI, I think you're doing that too, right?
Yeah, I forgot to do that today. If anyone followed me today, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. So he's masked_investor, and I'm just short the VIX1, but it's also pinned at the top. So thank you guys. That was fun. I'll see you tomorrow.
Doses.